Perfect, perfect. It looks like we're live. OBS, I tell you, it's a great thing.
I mean,
Till
it
it's not.
is
Till it's not.
till it's not. Exactly. Greetings, puny humans of Earth and Stuart, the mightiest human of Earth. How you
True.
doing?
Not too bad. Yourself.
Less well. That's okay. You old pain. Yeah. How many episodes left?
3.
Jeez. Isn't that crazy?
Tis.
I have to go back to the start when I asked what would be the best season. Most people said this season. I want to know if people continue to think that.
Well, we got 4 super chats from Ray
Oh.
Ricks,
Oh,
summing up his entire thoughts on this episode. So let's start with that.
beautiful. Okay.
So
Pre-gaming
five
the game. Go for it, Ray.
so £5 each. He says, I'm at Fright Fest, so want to give some thoughts as won't be on the stream. I may be repeating myself from Stuart's stream. Wish I was there for the conversation. Yeah, he kind of came in at the end. He says the format of this news documentary is fine and has been used to great effect in Babylon 5 and SG1
I said
especially,
that.
but I felt this wasn't done well. These were complex themes here, which were not given enough time to explore fully and for Beto to fully get past his own biases. It continues the trend of a disjointed tone for this season for me, and this episode was one of the worst for Strange New Worlds overall. 3 out of 10. Should be a good live.
Well, damn.
That's a great tone to start on.
And Ray has a pretty broad set of, he's not the people who always give a 9 or a 10 or a 10 or a 10 or a 10. So if he says 3, he actually means a 3. He doesn't mean, it's a 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to start the poll then to get you guys into the conversation straight away.
Yeah. And 19 of you here, 14 likes. That's amazing, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't, though. Let's get up to 20. And it'll be interesting to see because a lot of people like this episode. A lot of people don't like this episode, as I found out last night. So, uh, yeah, I feel like an outlier because I rather enjoyed it. But anyway, we will talk about it and see how we feel at the end of it when it's time to score it. Ta-da!
And as I said to you earlier, it's funny with every one of these where we've all got personal interests and not interests. Where if a show is more canon centric or it gets things wrong, just getting a thing wrong can really hurt our excitement. Whereas other people just don't
Hmm.
care, like Steve Shives, won't even
Hmm.
factor in, right? Or some people like diversity most, some people like action most, some people like horror most. Everyone's got their thing, which is absolutely fine. It's just interesting where the different lines are drawn, and they are drawn here.
And no further.
Well, maybe.
Sure. So there's the poll, guys. What do you think of this episode? Loved it, liked it, it was good. Meh, all sorts of meh. Or I do not like this episode. Sorry, I do not like this episode.
I don't like this episode. All right,
And
I'll keep
Olivia, Jill,
sharing
yes.
and see who says what.
Okay, well, we'll do the super chat of Olivia when he gets back. Guys, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click notification bell icon to all. We want to hear your thoughts. This one's divided a lot of people as far as what they think of the episode. So it'll be interesting to see where you guys fall and where we fall. So make sure you're subscribed and notified so you can join us for these lives and all the edited content we do here as well. Also, just hit that like button. As I said, super important. And making sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any content is also super important. So do those things. Even if you thought you were subscribed, check because YouTube tends to unsubscribe people because YouTube. Um, but yes, there is an option down there as well to join the channel here on YouTube or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards is another way to support us on a monthly basis. We appreciate any and all of it. So if you guys can do anything to help us out in that regard, please do so. We will not be mad, we promise. Matter of fact, we'll probably be super happy, but it's 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 neither here nor there. What we think. Just do what you need to do out there in YouTube land. Um, you can also there in the description of every video there are links to the Teespring and the T Public store. Some great Trek Yards merch as well as other merch. And yeah, we want you guys to check those links, get some cool stuff. Is what I'm saying. Do the things. And yeah, be part of the conversation, whether it be super chatting here, which we really appreciate. You can also send a PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com. We do get more of the PayPal percentage as opposed to super chat. So if you want to do that and support us that way, just let us know that you've sent one, and we will check it out and read your comment. We do read them. We read all the super chats and PayPal's on the lives, so your opinion, your voice is out there, and we do address them all. And you can interrupt us as you see fit. So please consider doing that and supporting the channel as opposed to super so chat. We can keep making the stuff we want to make. But yeah, once Sam is done sharing, we'll get into the next two super chats, and then we'll get to our complete review and breakdown, scene by scene, of this episode. And yeah, yeah, we'll get into some of those comments as well. There's some interesting ones. So, but yeah, make sure you join us for everything you can. We appreciate all of it. So, and look, there's Sam back.
Hey, here's Sam back.
I'm gonna read the next two super chats.
That's what they're there for. To interrupt us.
Olivia Julius, $5. What is Samuel? Is Samuel a great character, or is he just a shadow hidden by Foley? Join us to find out.
That's quite poetic. That's rather good, actually.
Mm-hmm,
Good job. Points to you.
And Colonel Chris, $10.
Oh,
UFP citizens could believably like the candid doc style. Definitely not a puff piece. Skeptic Beto swayed in earned way, paired with moral gray. Starfleet denies losing side a crucial but vile weapon. Great Trek. Yes. Glad you enjoyed it. And then we got Chuck A, TNG fanatic, member for 65 months at the rank of lieutenant. Welcome back, Chuck. Good to see you.
Amazing, as you know. Thanks so much.
I liked aspects of this episode. I have mixed feelings about it. How about Trekyards, the documentary? Trekyards, the documentary. That'd be fun.
So, Stuart, to answer that question in style, what do you think of this episode? And how, as we always ask, does it feel on more than one viewing? Because these sorts of things should feel different with more than one viewing. Your thoughts?
Well, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I do like the documentary style, and it's kind of gives you like a sneak peek behind the curtain. It feels like, even though we get that on a weekly basis with this show, because we do see the behind the scenes conversations. But still, this was laid out, I think, very interestingly. I've been kind of upset it was so short. It was only 40 minutes. It could have stood to have another 7, 9 minutes. I think it would have helped for the people that didn't like it. But I think the reason a lot of people didn't like it was because they said it felt disjointed, it felt slow, it wasn't fluidic, they weren't used to the shots, made them not pay attention as much. And I'm the exact opposite. The documentary style and breaking it up made me pay more attention because it was something new. The kind of the hovering camera vibe, a little bit above people, wasn't what we're used to. So I found myself paying more attention to what's going on in this episode as opposed to a regular episode. And that might seem strange to people, but it's just the way that it is for me. Uh, I loved the visual effects in this one. Like the creature looked fantastic. There's some interesting space shots. There was a new interesting styled ship, which was very much like a TNG ship of the week kind of vibe. Uh, I think the aliens were done well. Kind of more simplistic alien design, very kind of TOS. And yeah, I thought cutting between different cameras was interesting. I wasn't quite.
Oh my god, Stuart.
It's a Stuart. It's a me.
PC restart. Fixes everything every time. Way.
Are we back up? Yes, we are. Sweet. We're back, guys. I don't know what's the last thing you heard me say,
We
but
like the cameras and the editing.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, you didn't hear me complain about Beto
Oh,
railroading people with his stupid goddamn questions.
yes.
I get it. He's a documentary style filmmaker, but I thought some of them were inappropriate and ill-timed and cruel, honestly. But it is what it is. So overall, I think it was a very interesting story. I like the idea of the alien being turned into a weapon, although would like to learn more about that. There's some missing information there, but it was all redacted by Starfleet, so it's fine. Um, Overall, I enjoyed it. I really did. And on rewatches, it's actually better, I think. You really get
That was
more
my
of
question. Yeah,
a feel for things. And I love the little moments of like Una and Pike talking to Starfleet and having the Starfleet side just redacted out, which was interesting. Um, yeah, it was a good episode. It was really it kind of for me breathed new life into Strange New Worlds as like a looking at it in a different perspective. Like I said, pulling back the curtain a little bit, but not at the same time. Love the idea of all of the cameras on the bridge and whatnot. Uh, C3PO died.
glad we caught that.
Um, yeah, I mean, we got a taste of that in Court Martial with uh, in TOS, where there's the overhead bridge cam and it zooms in on Kirk's chair. Like, there's some cool stuff here, and I really enjoyed the hell out of it. So that's my take on it. How about you, Sam? What did you think, and what did you think on rewatches?
I mean, super chats first, as always, as we have one. So do throw
Oh,
in your thoughts, comments,
yeah.
questions, because yeah,
Sussy Guru 2000 throws in €5.
thank you.
To me, this was a dud. All I could think when watching was SG1 did this so much better. Hmm.
The thing is though, is that was like a couple of minutes of 2 episodes. So fine that it's more emotive, but you knew the characters way more because it's been 6 years, and they should kill somebody. But I mean that doc must be under 5 minutes the entire piece, maybe six. This is 40 minutes, so I'm shocked you say that because I mean you can do anything better if it's like this much and you just craft it. But this is an literally entire documentary. That's very impressive. I can't think of any other medium. Even the Babylon 5 is not. I don't think the entire episode. It goes out of the normal structure, I believe. But
Yeah,
yeah, the second
yeah.
one as well,
This is a full documentary,
which
like
is
in
crazy.
universe. There's not even a Strange New Worlds opening sequence. It's just a film by so and so Ortegas, which I missed the first time.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to be actual credits as well. Like,
Yeah, I
I
did
don't know who
too.
you thank, but you know,
Yeah. Susiguru 2005 euros. Not only does it not answer the question, is the Federation an empire, but invalidates the question of having Beto's motivation be impure, to say the least. Hmm.
but as they say, all people who do all docs have a perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's pretty much impossible to be unbiased, literally. So it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if he came in biased; he came out with a different answer because he learned. Therefore, it makes his journey worth having. So it's kind of a moot point because he learned, and then the final
Yeah.
message is, you know, true, whatever.
Well, Susiguru throws another €5 and
Boom.
says, "This was further cemented by his confusion being it's not that bad. They are a family, and Pike cooks for the crew." I mean, the question of the documentary was, what is Starfleet? And Uhura said it best. Starfleet is the people. Starfleet doesn't shape the people shape Starfleet. So
Mm.
Sasagura throws in another five
Oh,
euros.
nailing it! Wow.
Worst of all, it squanders the underlying moral dilemma with Space Mothra. The episode should have been about that instead of the documentary. I agree. It would have been cool to see just the episode based on that, but yeah, I feel stupid for liking it because everybody's like shitting all over it. So Sasaguru 2000 throws in another €10 and
Literally
says, not to
owning the
mention
live.
the
Amazing.
childish questions he asked the crew. What does it feel like to kill a person? It's a 3.5 out of 10, and only because I liked the space creature plot in the background. And Hypno Member agrees with them. Donnie gave it a 5 out of 10 and said this is his least favorite of Strange New Worlds this season,
But
with
not of
his
all time. I don't think there's
with
one he
his
likes least.
with his most favorite being the hegemony part 2, which is my least favorite.
Oh, he doesn't really think that, does he?
That's what he said.
But that's like one of the worst easily. Oh no. But it's so bad. Like a good chunk of it. Oh wow.
All right. Well, what did you think about it, and what did you think on rewatches based on hearing all that?
Ah, Matthew, indeed. Yeah, well, it's funny. Obviously, I've done 7 docs. I just released one, 20,000 views in 2 weeks. Tremendous. Stuart's in it. Go watch it right now. So I was very at home with this. I was, of course, thinking, where's, had they phoned to Marie and said, hey, can we put you in it? We'll record you, so don't tell Sam. And then Marie popped up, would have been great. Of course, not going to happen, but it's kind of funny. But it's not Memory Alpha documentary. It's just a, I guess, civilian document. Like, it wasn't done by anybody. It was just him. So I guess super third party, but it's fine. No, it was good. It was really well edited. It was so well paced that it goes by super quickly. Of course, take out credits, titles, and intro. It's only like 36 minutes, but still, really well paced. Because of the edit, I mean, so like choppy, changey. Every scene feels electric and creative because they keep throwing odd angles. That a lot of them have a lot of artistry, both between the deliberacy of the interview portions where the angles are gorgeous, the sets look amazing, the lighting's fantastic, the field looks incredible, best it's ever looked. And then the more static camera work of the security cameras has a really good vibe of just seeing the sets. Like, you don't want to see Discovery sets, but these are really fun sets to see in that regard. Along with the interesting meta of, why is there a camera in Pike's chair? But adds interesting perspectives. And as an editor, I mean, my God, normally you film a scene of like, okay, your close up, your close up, your close up, your wide. In this, assuming they did every single scene from all like 9 angles, the entire scene, just to get 2 reaction shots of Ortega's, which is a lot of extra filming. A lot of work going into this one that you can't even see until you actually put it together because you could change it so many ways. Bold of them to never do any flybys, only ever from the doc's perspective. I choose not to do that personally, but it worked. The creature was beautiful. I always say it. This company, the Discovery VFX company, has always done incredible creature effects. This is no different. Very cheap though in terms of few shots, but it's fine. It did other things. Really good ensemble piece. Everyone got something, although kind of proving how little useful the Una character is. She's just kind of there as not Pike. Really, she has no particular purpose. It's like a Chakotay, right? He's just not the captain. Unless you bring in her Illyrianness as the plot line, unless you bring in his Marquiness, he doesn't do much in the plots except being just helpful. So she kind of is very much that role. Thought it'd be more Ortega's. There wasn't. A bit sad of that, but she got something at least. And definitely a good 2-watcher because first time round, and this is my big complaint, is that because you don't know what's happening in the first 10 minutes because everything's new, I did not pick up who was who and has the names. That's on me, but having them once on screen and then move past it. So I was left the entire episode not quite getting, like I thought, because it was 5 seconds of a tile, whatever. I thought the scout ship was the attack people attacking the creature, not the people who made it. Because again,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
names don't go in enough. They're not like the Brax, but the Hula, radical different, name. They're quite like, I don't know, my brain didn't. So second watch, I was like, right, which is which? Keep track of all the information. In truth, they never mentioned the other guys again who they're attacking, as in who started the war. So it's only that one side. Easy to follow, but I didn't know that going in. So that was they really could have done with the bio picture of both alien race at
yeah,
the start, and
yeah.
like just a puff piece of who each are to give some context. That was desperately needed, but whatever. And I was impressed that Man Ortega's wasn't in it very much, really, because docs can be very perspective based, and he wasn't presenting it. He was in it when he had to be when the footage did not allow him not to be in it. He didn't even have like a giant closing. Like he wasn't the David Attenborough, right? He was sort of just
Mm.
he was just filming what was happening. He wasn't adding his own narrative really, like a little bit, but it wasn't as full on as it could have been as my version, where they're far more narrative based. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's my favorite Stranger Worlds episodes because it's really well edited. Like as a filmmaker and a documentary maker, it gets like super high marks on both. And the story's of course really simple. It's meant to be grey. You can get things wrong in it. It's a doc, right? So I get what they're doing more than maybe other audience members do because I do these as well. So I enjoyed it all the ways I do, and I'm talking about the story as we go into it. But yeah, really one of the best episodes easily, and bold of them to do it. And I would have loved to have seen a TNG doc like this because that would have been so much fun, or a Voyager doc because it's right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Really enjoyed it.
Was it better second time?
It was quicker. You realize there's less content than you thought second time,
Yeah.
but it's a doc. If you know the end, like if you know the story, of course you know the story. But I will say yes, I caught more subtle things because there are more subtle things that you just really can't capture the first time. So yeah, I did enjoy it more second time. Not a lot more, but I could follow it a lot better, and therefore capture the small things. Because it's more about the small moments. A lot of this, like the moment at the end where R. Ortega's is asked by her brother, "How's the hand?" I thought that was referencing. I didn't. The way they said, I didn't reference it being 7 episodes ago where they've not mentioned it twice. But it's actually how's synthetic hand, which is or grown or whatever. Like
Grown, yeah.
that's actually huge. Entirely went over my head the first time because it's such a small thing. So I really enjoyed hearing that the second time. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, obviously that's really nice. I don't know why people could not like it. I'm genuinely surprised by some people's reaction. But you're right. I'm hearing either loved it or really didn't like it, and I'm absolutely on the liked it camp.
Poseidon 500 says I didn't like it at all. So,
I mean,
Colonel,
if you don't like documentaries, I get it. But if you don't it's like if you don't like a horror film, you're not going to enjoy Halloween.
Yeah.
So you can't win it at some people, right? And that's fine.
Colonel Chris throws in $10, so thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
This is also a great glue episode that makes the season more cohesive for me in how it connects to and sometimes steps around what we know about the characters' ongoing stories. Yeah, especially Mbanga. Like I love when he looks at the camera directly and says it's tired of being a weapon because he understands that because that's essentially what he is. He's a special ops guy, right? So there's that layer in there that it gets touched on and never really like I love that. I thought that was really well done.
Well, they're able to dip into loads of plot threads by crafting a story that kind of allowed lots of people to do things and say things. None of them like a lot. And I do think probably that when they get to the last like 6 minutes, because the doc and time isn't linear, I felt the wrap up with Uhura was abrupt and didn't feel amazing.
Yes, I agree with that.
It wasn't about her, it was about the scenario, because the doc about the scenario. So you are allowed to burn through that because it's not about that. But narratively, you know what I mean? Like it's like in my last film, some people complained I skipped around Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 too much. I'm like, well, yeah, because it takes place after 4. So I'm going to because it's all part of
jumbled together. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not thinking about it as 2, 3, and 4. They're thinking about, oh, this is what happened these days. That's just how that works, right? So yeah.
The Dead Man, though, $10.
Thanks so much.
I like the actual story, but the politics was a little too on the nose. Who could these colonizers be? Who in the real world could they possibly be talking about?
I don't know. Who are they talking about? I mean, I don't know, right? We don't see a single hint of the other people, so I don't know what to think about that. The first graphic is that whoever attacked killed what 9 million, so they were hugely being attacked.
One has 9 million deaths in this war. The other one has 119,000, and that was the Lutani, I believe, that created this weapon because they wanted to turn the tide.
Yeah, because they're being brutalized. So I'm not sure which parallel I'm meant to be looking at, because which side and which conflict has been absolutely massacred and also then getting huge bomb weapons with science who are also using big factions to help. Don't know if there's any factions like that. Because
Anyway, 46 of you here. Hit the like button, guys. Let's get those likes up. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But this will be an interesting one because, yeah, it's very divided. And there's no middle ground either. It's either like a 3 from people or it's like much higher numbers. So,
but again, if you don't like documentaries, you ain't gonna like this. If you don't like musicals,
Well,
just conceptually, you might not like it. So there's a lot of those hard lines, like, I just don't like that form of media. Fair. Fair
William
enough.
J says, I wonder if it's like what it's like on a second watch. I really like documentaries, so it wasn't that. Hmm.
I mean, that might not be you, but lots of people, it's like I don't like
Hmm.
musicals in general, but Stranger Worlds musicals was better. It was a story as well. We'll have personal preference, but
Matthew DeFrieda says, I think this episode did a great job showing that documentaries are not always objective pieces. They can have agendas. Yeah. Yeah, you do see the lean into how is the Federation bad? Like the comparison in the beginning here between empires and the Federation. What's the difference? And then at the end to find out that Ortigas's brother was basically, I like how Uhura put it, you wanted somebody to blame. Starfleet took your sister away from you, first of all, then she got hurt. So you came at this with an agenda. And when you see that lean on it, yeah, I mean, yeah. But he made the documentary after that point, so you think he would have maybe changed the documentary with Tad, but I don't know. It's fine. Anyway.
yeah. And him having an agenda. If he had an agenda, like if they were going full in that premise, and if his actual initial construct is the Federation like an empire, then they would have shown the Klingon Empire and talked about the
Mhm,
atrocities empires do.
mhm,
They
mhm,
didn't, so he doesn't have a huge bias because the first whole sequence is about duty, honor, good things. Like it's
mhm.
all positive. It only when you get into his sub questions, which are more about other things. Like he
Yeah.
still does a good job in the editing, still does a good job in all that. Like, and remember, it is still the end of his journey editing it.
Yeah.
So even if the start of him had a thing, the editing is entirely positive, especially when Doc sorts of journeys.
Mhm.
Like you can start negative, but then because you're taking on a journey with the documentary at the end, you feel more positive. Whereas a fluff piece will
Yeah.
just be they're great from the start, and you're not having any journey. So I
Yeah.
disagree somewhat.
The Dead Man says, glad we got an official crew count. We got that like a couple episodes ago. They confirmed 203 people on board.
And season
And
2 of
that's,
Discovery from the graphic as well.
yeah. And that's the Cage crew complement. It has been since the Cage. And then
Mm-hmm.
Kirk's goes up to 430. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah, I love this opening. I loved all the close-ups of the panels and stuff like that. It was really quite interesting to see some of those close-up views.
Good reuse
And
of footage as well. They have a few
mhm,
stock clips. Also, first Stranger World in widescreen because of the documentary. So that was really fun to see the whole set in a TV looking widescreen, not cinematic looking black bars, which was cool.
mhm,
They had to do, which kind of shows they are filming it in full resolution and just adding the bars
mhm.
because they're not going to buy new
Yeah,
cameras just for this, which is absolutely fine. It's just kind of funny. Like to see these full screen enterprise shots are quite nice. And it's
yeah,
also a second watch. It's fun to see some like half the clips are from the end of the episode, half aren't. So that was kind of nice. Like what was reused, what was actually the story. It was a good way of it was a good
yeah.
way of bringing it all together a bit more. But still a good chunk of new shots, so no shade to that. Yeah.
And I kind of like the ship launching from dry dock, and it's like what differentiates a starship from a warship, and it's got that kind of sinister vibe almost until you it goes to warp. The ship just slowly going by the camera made it feel like it could be a Klingon ship. You know, you put that sinister music over it.
Well, that's a great great question. Warship versus a starship. Well, they both have the same amount of weapons, both the same amount of crew, both the same amount of like phases. It's intent, but you have to defend yourself against the big bad. You always say you have to bring the big stick to fight against the other big stick. Doesn't mean you'll ever use the big stick, but you need the big stick because they'll have a bigger stick, or at least some
Well,
stick.
Ortega says that too. It's like of course we go into battle with weapons. It would be or go into anything with weapons. It would be stupid not to, which is the argument we've made many times when we ask Doug Drexler about stuff, and he's like, Starfleet shouldn't even have weapons. It's like, yeah, but you need to carry a big stick just in case, especially when you're out in the unknown, right? So,
And that's why the Drexler fleet has 100% casualty rate.
ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah. But yeah, good start, bouncy, distinctly different music choice because you can't just do music. It's got to be doc music. So I really appreciated a lot there.
Mhm.
music. It was good stuff, and that fun wireframe of just the 3D model
Yeah,
reversing and mirroring. It was really nice, really good. And then there's
yeah.
really intense close-ups. And I had the 4K version. Really good skin detail. I mean, they're really detailed shots. I mean, if you ever want like a poster-sized version of Pike's face, there you go. Close-ups, all of his pores.
Yes. Um, yeah, I mean, we get introduced to everybody, and I love the Spock one. It's like look straight into the camera when you feel comfortable, and he's just got that passive look on his face, which is great. Um,
In second watch, the Spock stuff felt more superfluous because, yes, the thing about his half human, half Vulcan, like mildly comes play, it doesn't really. You could take that out and not affect the
well,
story at all. But as a doc maker, you need superfluous stuff that adds texture,
it
not actual main plot stuff. You do
it does
need
come in
that.
at the end though, because he says joining Starfleet allowed me to explore my human side, which I wouldn't be able to do on Vulcan. So it's showing the positives of Starfleet being a thing.
But I mean, that isn't about the main plot. So take out both. I'm saying those aren't main plot elements for a doc, and they're not about the doc either per se. About the
Well,
textual.
he probably wouldn't have put it in otherwise, but considering his view changed near the end before he edited it, put that in to just show another positive side of Starfleet, at
As you
least for
should.
some officers.
Although it is a bit, it's a bit brutally honest. On Vulcan, I would be an outcast. When I was a kid, I self-harmed. It's like, jeez, he's
Yeah.
brutally honest. And I was trying to think, is that the episode from yesteryear where he runs into
No.
Vulcan? Okay, because that seems. I guess he did it twice then.
It's it's similar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
Spock, stop running
wonder
away from home, please. Stop it.
Jamesy though throws in £5. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Uh I'm loving that this season is giving us real subject matter to discuss, not like other shows where the question is more, is it really a Trek episode? Yeah. Um, anyway,
And it wasn't a joke episode. Like many complaints, where's the serious? Well, we get strange and new and worlds. We get drama. We get action. We get. I mean, this is what people asked for. I'm just saying, right? Probably they could have
hmm
interspersed the season a bit better versus front loading it with comedic ones or like sort of more comedic because it does. It could have been one on, one off, one on, one off. Not necessarily. It wasn't literally that, but it felt a bit more, that way early
yeah.
on.
Uh, yeah, then he asked his sister about it's an exploration ship, and she's like, yeah, but we need weapons. It's just stupid not to have them, which absolutely true. Let me learn to get Leon and like you said, an action star, the Matrix type vibe, and all of her injuries.
Yeah, this absolutely felt like she's putting a hand up with an audition, like a free audition for the Resident Evil film or the Underworld film. Black leather, shooting, and she looks great. I mean, she vibed it really well.
Yeah,
Extra tight dreads, I guess. Just, I mean,
yeah.
if people aren't cosplaying that in a couple of years, leather jacket, tight dreads, guns.
You
Uh,
know, Fan Expo's going on in Toronto right now. It just
mm,
started yesterday, and it's a huge convention. I would be surprised if there wasn't somebody there right now dressed as Lon from this episode because cosplayers are remarkably quick to pick up on things. So, yeah.
yeah. The only problem with this scene is that she says, you have the context about yes, attack first.
Not
Not
exactly.
exactly, but it's a bit of a weird phrasing. Other times
Yeah.
in the episode she doesn't say that, but that one moment she's like, "Oh, this,"
She's
yeah.
she says, yeah, our goal is not to have to use them. That doesn't mean we don't fight back if we have to. If you were to, and he says, if you were to encounter a ship that you fought before, like the Gorn, would you fire first?
No,
And the response is,
before that, when she's especially when she's getting the rifle off the thing in the pre-bit, before she like does the full introduction.
I just read that.
Okay.
Uh, hold on. I'll go back a little further. Oh, she says, I think sometimes it's necessary, um, for the greater good. Sometimes that means we attack
There
first.
you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So that was like, oh, okay. I mean, that happens in all Trek, right? It's just weird for her to say it. But she's the tactical person, so she's allowed to. But she does say it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, fair.
And then it's
Great.
like, yeah,
Sorry.
if you can kill them first, if you can't kill them first, the best move is to run. It's like, oh
That's a good
damn,
tip.
that's
Yeah.
harsh, but true.
And it's
Um,
and it's great that because I have a very strict policy when I write my docs, which is Starfleet doesn't lie. Right?
mhm.
What does Picard say? First dues to the truth.
Yeah,
So you can obviously skirt and Benga, I don't recall. He is lying. He does recall. So he is lying, but he's lying by it's a dumb not lie there, whatever. But I don't want them to lie because they are better than that. Doesn't mean they can't skirt via other things to not hurt. You know, um, it's like telling someone you love a truth will hurt them. Is the truth the best thing? Well, for who? If it hurts them, right? So if the civilians don't need to know that 48 civilians died, it's like if you had an alien invasion from aliens, do you need to tell the mother of the son that died that his chest burst open, blood flew everywhere, and he was in pain for 3 hours? No, just tell him he died, right? There's the truth and there's the truth. So I appreciate the way they're all like couching what they say. It makes sense, but it's not like Lana says, run. She obviously thinks shoot first as well, but she's going to say run because it's the most logical thing to say. Yeah. Is it carefully crafted, right? As are some of
mm,
these beautiful angles because they do really interesting stuff with these angles.
yeah.
Good stuff.
And we get Una just giving her job as the first officer, offering alternatives. Not much there,
Nope.
really.
Well, briefly last thing on Lan. I love the digital set replacement of her shooting range, which is clearly not really there. It's just she's being tracked. It's a really good looking
Oh,
shooting range. See, that is an easy, simple. You don't know a fucking holographic one from Discovery. It's just a big long room. Yeah,
yeah.
there's just a rotoscoped room. It's great. Yeah, Una nothing. And I don't know if you noticed, but when her in her quarters, she's got a phase pistol, like a pistol from I think Picard or Discovery. Like I recognize that phaser from one of the civilians in one of the other shows. It's a
Yeah,
very
I did too.
specific. I can't remember what it is though.
And then we get the, well, who are saying they're going to a mission briefing. That's about it.
And then you got the casualties. Yeah. So
Yes. Lutani
Lutani
work.
7.
There's,
Yeah.
yeah, they're the ones that created the creature. 9 million casualties, and the other side only has 119,000.
Yeah.
So very disproportionate.
And they say sister planet, which means same solar system,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
As so Kassar, well, we don't know who they are. Maybe we can assume they look the same, but don't know. So they attacked first, right? Caused a boat ton of casualties for land, right? So the people that
Mm.
Starfleet are helping are the, in theory, innocent people, right?
Yes.
At least brutalized. So
The
Starfleet's helping.
brutalized ones, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure where this water planet is. Is this planet Lutani 7?
I don't think so.
Because they
No.
do say what it's called.
Well,
Because
we'll get there.
yeah, because they do say at the end this planet is now a sanctuary. So if this planet, which would have to be, is in the same solar system as this war, then Starfleet, not in their space, is annexing a planet against the sovereign rights of another solar system. That's I mean, I said in the other review that's a bit dodgy
Only
anyway.
half of the solar system. I'm sure the Lutani are all for it after a certain point
Well,
because,
sure, yeah, but sister planets, um, it's still a bit weird. But yeah, this is not a war. That's a massacre, really, or one
yeah,
big attack. Because planets are different.
yeah.
If you bomb a planet, it's a bit different than a spaceship. But
And
very
the
one-sided.
Scottish Nightmare says I call bullshit on the disco prize being 440 meters. Well, we have videos coming out about that this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so check it out.
And it's not that we don't call bullshit either. But
Yeah, we
that's
called bullshit back in 2018 when the official size was announced.
uh-huh.
Yep.
They're at least they're consistent.
Uh-huh.
What's your phrase? Doubling down. They are doubling down.
Yeah. And Scottish Nightmare says, couldn't Starfleet declassify a more interesting mission? Well, it's funny it was focused all on this mission, considering he's been recording stuff for a while now. Like we've seen him in other episodes. And it's funny later he asked Pike, What's it like to watch someone die? Dude, you were just on a planet, a mission a month ago, maybe more,
True.
where you saw somebody get vaporized running towards a door, and you saw somebody's eyes get burned out of their sockets who later died. So you've seen people die, so you know how it feels to watch people die. Maybe not people under your command. That would have been another line you should have added in there. What is it like to watch people die under your command, under the orders you've given? That's a better question. But whatever.
It reminds me of when Troy says, "I never kissed you with a beard before," and it's like,
Yes.
babe, more times than without a beard. What are you on about? You're wrong. And it's such a
Yeah.
cute scene, but you're wrong. Yeah, and I'm shocked to say such an uninteresting episode, like a topic. This is a, a new war with aliens that I guess are warp capable, well, they have to be, with a
Yes.
bio weapon alien life form they've genetically modified to evolve to be spacefaring, which has weapons that can take a top grade ship's shield under 40% in one hit. That's an
Um,
amazingly interesting topic. What are you on about?
well, this is interesting too, because this conversation, it's like, don't the Lutani, they've been raiding our cargo supply, our cargo runs, and they're helping the Klingons. And it's like, yes,
Because that was lost on me the first time. I thought that was the baddies
yeah,
because, of course,
no,
the names, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I can understand the confusion for sure. But yeah, it's like it's a need to know basis. You don't need to know right now. It's classified. So like Pike knows why, but yeah, it's interesting that little context there. Like these are people that have been raiding convoy runs for the Federation against the Federation.
Which is odd because, like, they're obviously in the Greater Federation space, but that means they're going out of their space into Federation space, which is an act of war in theory, attacking, and then going back to their one solar system. Like, it's hard to get away with stuff when you're, you know what I mean? When you're in the middle of everything else. It's like, if Starfleet knows where you are, you're
Yeah,
two planets, one of which has some ships.
yeah.
I mean, they're not, I guess they're letting them.
The only thing I can say that I said last night, I believe I said last night, and William J just said it now. Is it possible that these are out of order as far as where they were supposed to be put in? I mean, they could have shuffled the order around somewhat to kind of give a better flow to the season, perhaps, but yeah, it's hard to say.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, they wouldn't know. Yeah, they wouldn't, yeah, you wouldn't know that until afterwards. This is where you create the very interesting dynamic of, okay, it's a documentary, it's in universe, there's never an answer because there's never a behind closed door moment. So they don't call weapon until a certain point, and are they being misled and told it's just a big alien creature that can help? Or are they being told it's a weapon? If they're being told it's a weapon, then are they saying it's fine to ferry a weapon to the war side and then kill lots of people? Are we? And if they know that, then they're letting it happen, actually helping it happen.
Mm,
Interesting. Now, obviously, they're being hurt by this other race massively, so you could argue it's to protect lives. Fine, but the Klingon was a specific mention, right?
mhm.
So, and there's no information, right? So, there's entire inference. Are they implying that the Klingons, they were the Klingons originally, but the Klingons like don't know how to control this creature or something or other, and the Federation's ambassadors were able to work out a deal saying, no, no, side with us, not the Klingons. We get access to the technology to modify these creatures and what you learn from them, and therefore we'll help you. Not give the Klingons, because if you're raiding with the Klingons, that's one thing. Is that the inference? Like it's a deal. We get the tech, because it's a creature. I don't know how useful it's really going to be, but like, we get the tech as long as we help you.
Maybe, but that kind of violates Starfleet's principles of like this is a being that's been altered to become a weapon. Like that doesn't jive with Starfleet's ideals.
But neither does
And
walk into a war zone to kill loads of people.
I know, 100%. And that's why Matthew here says, I wonder why Beto didn't show anything from the Wedding Bell Blues or the Escape Room episode, probably because it didn't fit his angle. Yeah, if he's going for something that sheds Starfleet in a bad light, those episodes didn't really at all. So, matter of fact, the exact opposite. So,
Because I was sort of surprised, because a lot of these things we talk about are with the whole episode in context, right? They're not necessarily as they happen because a lot of them backtrack, right? So Pike at no point goes against Starfleet's regulations, which is funny because when he's asked at one point, would you go against orders? It's like you did in episode 1 when April's like, get back to command. Didn't say when. Dude, you go against orders. Clearly violating the orders. Doesn't matter what the technicalities, you're clearly going against it. So he does it whenever he wants. So the fact that he doesn't not want to do it here means Pike actively wants to take this creature to the war zone because he does disobey if he ever feels no. So
I think it's one of the moral Starfleet questions. There's no easy answer. Like he wants to help these people that have had 9 million people killed, but and this is like the only solution that they've come up with so far. I kind of get it.
well, yeah, because the thing we don't know because if Pike's been told, okay, these other guys they just bombed a planet, huge deaths, they're working with the Klingons. We think they're going to do more bombs every day. If we don't attack their main research lab, as in the other guys, they're going to launch 10 more nukes. It's like, okay, cool. Well, why wouldn't we save 4 trillion, right? But without context, you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason people nuked Japan to save other people. It's horrible, but it saved the world,
Yeah,
right? The numbers matter, but you don't get
yeah,
that side because it's all redacted. So it's meant to
and
be nebulous. That's why you're meant to trust Starfleet or not,
yeah.
because they've probably got reason or not.
And Classic for Real throws in $2. Who is the cutie in the thumbnail? You can tell I definitely watched. That's Uhura.
This is called a Star Trek classic. It's a TV show done by Jim Roddenberry. This is the new version done by Keith
Yeah.
Goldman.
So now they're on their way to the turbo lift, and it's like, why are we helping them? And Ortega says, we're taking supplies and cargo to a world that's in need of aid. That's what we're doing. And he's like, what is it? What kind of supplies? And her just easy guess, they're at war. Okay, so medical supplies, doctors, perhaps some food, you know. It's not necessarily weapons, but the way she says it implies obviously we're giving them a weapon,
And also,
but
Starfleet doesn't just hand over phasers.
no.
Like, it never has, really. Like, there's an entire episode of TNG when the guy gave weapons to both sides, and that was bad. That was just a bad thing overall because they don't give weapons. Yes, technically, if they gave them their own weapon, fine, but they don't actually give weapons. Like, they
Yeah,
wouldn't just give photon torpedoes. So
no.
it's not weapons, but it's their weapon. Hmm.
Yes. Jameson, 5 pounds. It sounded to me like Pike didn't have any wiggle room with these orders. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got too. Because yeah, it goes back to the question he asked later. Is like, have you ever disobeyed orders? And he's like, well, I can confidently say I can't answer that. So
Yeah, but if he really cared, like actually fully, the wiggle room is what you find. Picard will go against orders if he truly believes, as does Pike.
hmm,
I mean, literally went off book to help his girlfriend with a plant.
yeah,
If he has to, he's going to do it. So again, that line of he's like, no, we support our orders, which means he does know stuff we don't know. That makes it worth, right?
yeah.
The adage needs the many, needs the few. There's a reason for that. If he's going to save 2 trillion,
I think,
right?
and just talking about all this, I think since Lutani were aiding the Klingons and attacking cargo runs of the Federation, could have been a deal where the Federation or the Lutani are like, we've created this weapon to help our people. Can you please help us escort it? We will stop our raids on
That
or
too.
our attacks on your cargo. Like there's a lot of layers here that could behind the scenes politically be
Mm-hmm.
important, and we have to like figure that out on our own. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
what I mean. They can't tell you the answers, which means we can have the debate. And it's your perspective that infers. Like, if you think
yeah,
there's a direct parallel to a conflict that's current, that's on you, because there is no
yeah.
direct parallel.
Um, here's a horse talking about the Chikaru. One has shown signs of transformation. Soon it will be able to move through space.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real, and she says there are a lot of restrictions around how we have to handle it. We're helping move the creature to a war zone. Well, that's what he has. Why are you moving the creature to a war zone? It's outside my orders. I don't know.
And that's the
Yeah.
question.
Yes, it is yeah.
There's a couple of very like, that's the question, and that is one of those questions. It's like, yeah, I mean, to be a war zone based thing, then oops,
Then we get a planet surrounded by a
force field.
containment grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do they say what planet it is?
Yes, they do. Tychus B.
Okay, because this thing, it can fly, but it can't go to warp. So everything must be in the same solar system.
Well, they're surprised later they don't have to tractor it because it
Yeah,
creates its own propulsion.
and
But
it's going to a planet with life with ships around. So,
yeah,
but Australia World does not care about space or time. So
no, they don't.
it could travel it could travel light years, and who cares? At least how they take it. They don't care.
And then we get a really cool shot of it rising into the water.
It's great.
I like the observation drone. Like you can see the front of the drone. That's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. Yeah, the visuals are amazing in this episode.
I like these weird side angles because they're really hard to get. Because cameras are
Yeah.
quite big, and this is like in the console, so they're having to probably break away part of the console and put them through, and they're really fun angles, or like on a green screen. No, it's good
Yeah, the
stuff.
thing I said in my first reaction review is some of the cameras are a little bit odd to be Starfleet issue because one like the science officer station, 75% of the frame is filled by like a black bulkhead and you got Spock in the corner. If you're going to mount cameras above you put them up so you can see what they're doing on the consoles as well in case. But anyway, it's fine.
I mean, it was designed for a TOS Connie bridge when we got refitted, so they're all wrongly sized. Thank you.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, the thing moves. It's great. We never see any sort of exterior shots, and this is what confused me until second time. I obviously assumed this was the other side attacking
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be their own side. That's silly. But no, it's their own scientists who are rebelling against the government of their own people and saying this is too serious a weapon to use. So far more on the second watch, because who got
Yes.
that it was their own people first watch? Because it wouldn't be. Why would it be, right? So I thought that was quite
Yeah.
interesting. They're attacking it, but they should know that it's not going to do anything. And also, you'd think they would have done the math that if we attack it, its shields deal with it. It would disable the inhibitors, which means it becomes violent and it kills us. Like, it's entirely their fault. I'm sorry, they had no plan here, and it was terribly executed. So that's on them, right?
Yeah.
Because you'd think they'd have had lots of planned time to do the thing. But it's amazing. So the first action that happens is their own faction, their own race tries to stop them. Because that tells you it ain't a great thing if their own people are trying to stop it.
Sasagura 2005 euros. Aren't the cameras all Beto's drones? No, because they say
Ooh.
bridge feed.
Mm-hmm.
They say which tactical console and bridge feed. There's one on the outside of the hull. No, they're not his drones.
Yeah, it's very
You
specific,
can tell you
actually.
can tell which ones are his. They're like when they're going in the hallway and it's a higher angle. It's that floating one, right? So
Yeah, it's not subtle. Anything on tripod is not. It is not his camera.
hmm. And then the creature does its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Burst of radiation, which takes shields down, and a couple of those destroys some ships.
And oh dear. And now they believe they call it weapon from here on out. So it goes real quickly from we'll just take this nice space creature to weapon. Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
There's some great angles, very interesting. A nice little under railing shot of Spock and Uhura. There's obviously quite a few poorly framed candid angles.
Yeah, well, even the volume's lower on this. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to be. And even Spock takes a look like, 'cause, yeah, this is where Spock's hand was shaking, and he's like, yeah, because of my Esper rating, I sensed its aggression.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's got so much emotion it can push out into the world.
and we get the Lutani scientist in sickbay who's dying, and she says basically, you have to stop them. This has been a mistake.
And great
So,
makeup.
yeah,
This is very effective. But like I say, right in their own people saying it's bad. But again, I didn't know the names enough to know it was them aside. I thought it was the other people.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, it's absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I was just sort of watching it, trying to take it in because it's such a quick thing that I mean, if you were to go make a cup of tea, right, you'd miss three important plot points, right? It's that sort of piece of media,
Yes.
although none of which necessarily are huge to the plot. They're all important for this episode, so I commend them, right? That's what I mean.
Hmm.
People who dislike the pace, it zips through, it goes, right?
Yeah. And we get the Mbenga conversation, and it's like, yeah, I'm just a doctor. Yeah, I served in the war, and then you get his whole Ross, like his thing, codename the Ghost, and all of his confirmed kills redacted. It's like, ooh, yeah, that's definitely painting Starfleet in a bad light. And then have you ever scrubbed surveillance logs from Sick Bay? He's like, I don't recall. I cannot recall. That's a yes. Anytime anyone answers like that.
This is probably okay. Would you say Mbenga's bit hit is the best acted of the interviews?
Yes. And Pike. I think Pike was good too.
But Pike is what you expect. This is,
Yeah.
you know, like it again, not important to the main plot, really, but texture. But the acting's amazing. He absolutely corners him, and
It,
anybody watching this is like, "Oh,
yeah.
that guy clearly was Dodge,
Yeah.
clearly."
It shows his prejudice, trying to paint Starfleet in a bad light. I think that's the point.
Or at least get to the truth, right? The bad
Yeah.
light is the light that's there, and that's what I'll bring up. So in second watch, because in first watch you're really listening as you go, you don't know what's happening. Second watch, and see if you agree. The thread isn't about painting stuff in bad light; it's about death. Every character asks about death, seeing death, doing death, living death, to show that it's not they're causing it, that they're seeing it, that it's so dangerous to be out there, that they're being forced to be in situations where that occurs, and then each one of them has their own version of it. Pike seeing it and Benga causing it, on making sensingly causing it, but then he then pushes even further of each
Mm.
person to say, well, how much of that is passive versus active, warship versus starship. But it was the death portion. That is why I kept picking up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because even with this next scene, this is where he says, "Were you close to anyone in Starfleet Academy?"
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
maybe Alana, my roommate,
Well, she dared.
and Alana Chow, and he's like, "Yeah, she's dead. She died in the Cayuga, attacked by the Gorn." And she didn't know, she wasn't aware. Like, I thought that was a really shitty thing for him to do, considering he probably knew that they were roommates.
But he didn't know. She didn't know.
Maybe.
I
I still
I
think it's a shitty thing to do.
I mean, if he thinks she knew, then it's an interesting question. I mean, also he would assume she had more than one friend, right? She's quite a likable person, so having one friend and the one friend dying, it's more honestly, it's more Nahura for not having talked to the friend in like 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds harsh, but that's also like they're so out there and doing stuff. So I love her jumper. It's great. But no, it's death. I think was the interesting thing, which I feel like I took that at the second viewing of he is asking the question about death because he's hoping he's wanting Ortega's his own sister to leave because she almost died and could die.
Hmm.
That's what he's that's it for me. That's what I saw his bias as, which is people die. I don't want to lose my one family member, so you should leave. Right? That's because she
Yeah.
almost died, really almost died. I mean, losing a hand, literally, and almost dying, that's brutal. And yet, why is she willing to stay? So that's what I took the perspective as until he realized at the end the family, it's the helping other people, it's the saving other people. Honestly, when the end of the story, Pike takes his perspective and kills the alien. Like, as long as they are supporting weaponage, he's against it. As soon as they're not supporting weaponage, he's with them. So he shifts as soon as they shift, but he doesn't know the story, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
But what specifically?
His
Sorry.
angle specifically is about he doesn't want Ortega to die and therefore get her out of it because death is so
Oh,
potentially.
maybe. Yeah, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. putting people in harm's way, because of Starfleet. Yeah,
Hmm.
I get it.
Yeah, Love and Benga. I never love Uhura with the family stuff. That's later. But the
Yeah,
friend dying was quite sad. But just why give them all one friend? Goodness. Blah.
yeah. Next scene's great. All the Starfleet side of the conversation's redacted, but Pike's like, "Yeah, I know the orders I was given. I'm not refusing commands." So it's like, if you can't do this, Chris, we're gonna get somebody that can. And Chris and Pike being like, "I'd want to be in control too because I have a conscience. Some other captains might not. So even though I don't want to do this and I know it's kind of wrong, I still want to be in the situation where I can do something about it if I need to." Never really got that the first watch through, but
But again, is it wrong? If it was truly wrong, he wouldn't do it, right?
you're also helping a planet that's had 9 million casualties
Exactly.
against an aggressor that they've only managed to get 119,000. So yeah,
So wrong is the wrong word, right?
yeah,
He sees the reason for it, but as you say, he wants to be. The important thing is him on the bridge of the starship, and obviously any other ship could do it, right? Hey, Devereaux,
yeah.
you know. Right, shall we look at the poll results because we're over an hour in? And guys, check your thoughts, comments, questions. We're doing great so far. Keep them coming. A few more fives. We have 81 votes. Last week it was really, really clear. Everyone loved it. This episode, though, what do you think of this episode? The winner by a slim margin is Meh. All sorts of Meh with 33%, a full third of you. Runner up, 31%, so not far off. Liked it, good. Third place, loved it. And fourth place did not like it, 16%. So over 50% of you liked it.
Close. If it was just two options, it would be like 51,
Yeah,
59,
yeah,
51, 49
yeah.
split.
Oh, yeah, it's basically the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, new poll going. But yeah, super chat some more thoughts. Do you agree with our commentary? Are you on our level? Do you think we're being too kind to it? Super chat your thoughts now.
Hans Pritchard says, "I'm surprised at that result." I'm not, from what I've heard. I mean, a lot of people either really love this episode or just absolutely despise it. So, Devo says, "I love the documentary feel of this video." Yeah, me too. I think we should. I think I would like to get documentaries made on other missions that we've seen the entire mission, like the full episode, and see those turned into documentary style. Because I think that'd be quite interesting to get a different perspective, um, whether they did the right thing or not. Like the Tuvix documentary. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it'd be interesting.
And the only non-redacted bit is him screaming, "Don't kill me," because of a Clara
Yeah.
Clara. Jesus.
Oh. William J says, "I think it's always interesting when people get so many different opinions on the same episode." Well, it's funny because we find that when there's an episode like that, it generates a lot more discussion and a lot more people show up to our lives. If it's one that's just kind of an episode of Star Trek, we get like half the viewers that we normally do for things like this. So it's interesting because
Well,
people feel strongly one way or the other about it,
people
right?
love to hate watch.
Yeah.
So if you hate the episode, you want to see us hate it, and or vice versa.
And Ryan K says, "I'm straight up middle ground on this one." Well, there you go. So there is some middle ground, people. Interesting.
All right, interesting new question coming up in a second.
Guys, hit that like button. 69 of you here. Make sure you're all subscribed as well. But let's get those likes up to
Mm,
70 if we can. We'd appreciate that.
we would, but it's because everything's got to context, right? It's interesting that he was allowed, and Pike, whatever allowed, quote unquote, this scene to come in, because they very much are the yes sir following orders,
Mhm.
right? Like it doesn't put them in the best light, but obviously it's. I mean, how often can you betray orders in your job and stay out of the job, right? So, right. But it's interesting that that came in, that was left in.
Hypnomember makes a good or asks a good question. She's got a question. Do you think this episode was so short because they cut the context out of the war? I really feel like it's suspiciously short. I agree with you. I think there's probably stuff that might have been cut from this. Um, because yeah, 40 minutes is not a long episode by any stretch. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was more context to this that they just didn't include for whatever reason.
My gut is that they said, "What's the perfect length for a
For a
doc?"
documentary. Yeah.
Because padded would be boring. Because this is such an intense format. As any doc, unless there's real narrative inclusive stuff, you're just adding padding. Like the thing I said, the stuff with Spock at the start felt far more redundant second time. So if there's more things that weren't important, you could keep cutting them out and not feel the story was lacking. Given they never showed the other alien race, that implies they never had anything of the alien race. That's what I would want to have seen, right? Like other
Mm.
stuff or a follow up of them uh, with politics, but that's way too intense to do for this doc. So I don't know if that was the case. I think they probably kept it short on purpose. So it was just sharp, to the point, neat.
Yeah.
So it's a really hard one to edit this one.
Somebody last night brought up it reminded them of the Tin Man episode, and it's like, yeah, I can kind of see that. Fighting for
Yeah,
this
yeah,
powerful
yeah.
being that the Romulans want to get it, and I get it, but I didn't draw that parallel until it was said. So,
Yeah, not untrue, but yeah. All
so
right.
here they say the creature has broken free and it can actually move on its own using energized particles,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't need to tow it.
Yep. Which I never got the thought they had to anyway. Because that would feel harsh to try to be in a life form like that can fly, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
And I like how the null dampeners are looking like harpoons.
it's on the nose. Yeah, I
It's
noticed that
on
too.
the nose. I got very much. I I I feel like there's Star Trek 4 allegory here. Not a lot, but come on, they sound like the space whales. They sound like George and Gracie, right? And
Yeah,
it's underwater. They've got to be pulling like, oh, you love those guys.
yeah.
Don't kill the butterfly equivalent. I don't know. Did you think that with the whale song kind of thing?
I didn't think George and Gracie specifically, but yes, whales absolutely. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. So their orders are still to take it to Lutani 7.
And that surprises everybody, or at least Ortega's,
Yeah,
because we've now learned it's a weapon, and now everyone knows a weapon, and now the orders are take the weapon to the war zone to with the desperate people who need a weapon to fight against an attacker.
yeah,
There's no longer ambiguity. It's like, oh, we're letting them kill some people, or
yeah.
bluff and say whatever. You know, someone's
Well,
weapon can be the threat of using it is enough, right? It's actually the best weapon, right? It's not actually have to use it.
and after that last scene of talking to Starfleet, this is where he asks if you ever disobeyed an order, and Pike's like, I can honestly say that's classified.
Stop asking.
With a little smirk on his face. Yeah. Oh, here's a line of dialogue. The Enterprise is following Starfleet's orders and transporting what they know is a weapon, the Jikaru.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's I believe his voiceover.
Yep. Ambiguity is now gone.
Yeah. Trying to think what's next here.
Then we get to Spock with some great side angles. As a bit of a leap to me, the creature was talking. I get she's a Uhura, and that's what she listens to. And there's probably more scenes in between, but it felt a little bit abrupt. Like, oh, bam, let's talk to her. It's like, well, okay, it's fine, just a bit abrupt. But
Oh,
it's
you really jumped ahead.
well, it's just people talking
Hold
to
on.
Grace. Isn't that just what you that isn't that the whole scene?
Yeah, but there's
I don't
this
know.
is
It's
where
okay.
it's the whole context of you don't want this falling into the Klingons' hands to be used as a weapon, which I think goes back to Starfleet because the Lutani have been working with the Klingons to raid the cargo runs for the Federation. So wonder if the Lutani said, "You look, you either help us stop the raids, or we're going to give this weapon to the Klingons," which sounds like a threat, which Starfleet wouldn't necessarily bow down to. But that's the section where they're talking about it could be used as a weapon by somebody else. So we need to stay on it to make sure that doesn't happen. I, 'cause-
Well, I'm not sure how the Klingons use it as a weapon. like it's a sublight space whale that's giant. You have not a single ship in your armada that can fit into it. Fine, you could tractor beam it, then you got to get into Federation space to grab it. And I don't. And they said low warp to tractor it, and then they said sublight tractor it. So I don't know why. I assume they're implying that the technology to make this life form go vicious means they could transport the babies to planets and have them grow. Because sublight weapons are basically useless,
Yeah.
right? Basically useless, and low warp is the same thing. So I'm not exactly sure why the Klingons would find it very useful, unless you could add the boom weapon, make that a thing. But there's no reason to think that. Like, you know what I mean? Like a bit of a lack of factuousness when it comes to, unless they're literal on the Klingon border. But they never said that, so I've no reason to think that, right?
Yeah. But yeah, now in the lab, and yeah, you see the neural dampener on the bottom, and it's even got like inscribed little things, just like a harpoon. It's like very obvious. But um yeah, it's not a neural dampener, it's a shock collar. Oh shit, hold on a second. Go ahead.
Yep, shock collar, which, another name for yeah, which is tricky because I don't know enough context. If they made it mad and they got to shock it to not be mad, they still got to control it, which means in theory they can talk to it, the aliens. I don't know. And I guess,
But that's a Uhura's solution. Just talk to it.
yeah.
What do I know? I'm a communications officer.
Well, the thing about talking, yeah. Deborah has a great point. Archer says he didn't want to command a warship, but then regrets having the firepower during the Zindi conflict. Yep,
Yeah.
thousands died because he couldn't defend himself. Yeah.
We get Spock saying I can communicate it and with it, and Chapel's like, yeah, but Mbanga's told me that this is why Vulcans abandoned this because it abandoned their psionics because it caused brain aneurysms and death. It's like I think I could be. think I can handle it.
Has it been called psionics before?
Yeah, I love that they say Esper rating earlier.
Yeah.
My Esper was high because it's a big thing in Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Yes. Okay. I knew it was familiar abstractly, but I was like,
Yeah.
okay, okay. But yeah, I mean, it is a fast-paced plot, right? We got to go talk to it. How? We'll work it out. Okay. Cool. Although common fare, Spock, mind melding, not exactly unusual. He does that a lot in the show.
Mhm. Okay, Pike and number one, Starfleet needs us to deliver this weapon or take it. Thoughts? And she's like, the Lutani
Yes.
are at war, um, understandably desperate and eager to shift the balance of power.
Which is obviously hugely one-sided.
Yeah, if this thing dies because of them, that's no big deal to them. If it saves them, it's everything. It's like a all or nothing type situation.
Which is why it's even more odd at the end when it's like, nah.
Yeah.
I guess you might have just signaled this race's extermination potentially, or at least subjugation. At the very least, you've allowed this part of the quadrant to be destabilized, the solar system to be brutalized.
Yeah.
I mean, you've killed a lot of people here, Pike, by saving other people. But wash his hands
What's
of
what
it, right? That's what they
it's
have.
never an easy answer. That's
Nope.
part of the thing of Star Trek.
But it's all the framework here.
Yeah.
It's. But at least we see his higher ups, and it's like, yeah, I mean, every answer's bad. You gotta wonder then, like we talked about briefly about the whole Klingon thing. Like, this is not their space. This is not their domain. This is not. They're not part of the Federation, so they were called in to do something specific. You know, like I wonder if Starfleet doing the. Like you would think if Starfleet and the flagship, if the flagship is towing a weapon to a war zone, then it symbolizes that both we have a great weapon and a big friend.
Yep.
So maybe the actual story was meant to be We get it there. They back down. Peace begins.
Because the Federation is basically up in
Because we
Litani.
brought
Yeah.
2 nukes. One you own, one you don't. And then it went wrong.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because that sounds Starfleety, right? Like playing. I mean, certainly Kirk would play politics like that, like to that line where it's kind of like I said, risky at all. But if they guaranteed we could control the creature, then the risk isn't
And
necessarily innately there.
it backfired on them because at the end, Pike's like, "You don't want to make an enemy of us.
Yep.
Trust me." So now you have these guys attacking you and the Federation not on your side. So
That race might get wiped out.
yeah.
Right? Pike made a choice. But yeah, then they talk about how we got this plan to talk to him at some point. We'll work it out, which is quite, cute.
And that kind of gets shut down instantly. But
Wow. And I gotta commend them. It's really nice to the bridge in this much brightness, vibrance, and detail. Because this one shot of Spock's console looks absolutely wonderful and far more like TOS than I feel like it's been before. Just the way it's been done, it has that brighter feel, and I really like seeing these sets in that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Classic for real, $2. 2 episodes in a row where Pike has to kill people. Sure.
Happened last week. Oh, what?
Uh,
He did something? Surely Kirk did.
yeah, it's classic.
Oh.
We'll just move on.
Thanks, Kevin.
But yeah, here they fire a new because the thing was damaged in the last attack
Uh-huh.
against the Litani ships. They fire a new one. It doesn't penetrate the skin, doesn't get into the cerebral cortex if they need it to. And then they have three more photons. And the second one completely fucking misses, like way above its head. It's like, what are you doing, guys?
Not a lot.
And then it gets mad. Then it gets mad and attacks the Enterprise.
Yep. Exactly. And the ship is real damage. 40% is a huge amount of damage. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
You imagine that in the atmosphere next to a city. The city's leveled. Right?
Yeah.
So that was very
And then Beto gets kicked off the bridge by Uhura, which I love because Pike ordered all non-essential personnel off the bridge. He's like, I can stay here. No, you can't. The captain just gave an order.
And also, you're the only one who's not essential. So just get you off the bridge.
Yeah.
But credit Starfleet, they declassified the things, so they weren't hiding anything. It's just regulation. Although, boy, I noticed this week. Why is 3/4 of the bridge lights neon red for alert? Do they need to be reminded every single possible part of the bridge? Because that is so red. Why is everything red? Remember in the old days when one wall panel, red alert, red alert, one wall panel, that was sufficient. And now every single other light. Why?
Because it looks cool.
It does it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess so.
Half. Less is more, right?
Yeah.
Handrails, sure. Not steps. Like there's things, yes, not over half the lights. But yeah, security camera. I like the angles. You get a really good sense of the set. Love the sparks. No flamethrowers. Good stuff.
And it comes after the Enterprise. The Enterprise ducks it.
And that shot from inside the ceiling curve is wonderful. That's such an inspired little odd angle. There's a lot of cameras on the bridge. A lot of security cameras.
Yeah. That one's that reminded me one that reminded me of Court Martial.
Yeah.
For sure. So
and
then
I like Ortega's is I guess that's her thing, fixing, repairing.
Building a hover bike or something.
There's a Connie in the corner. I wonder if it's a TOS Connie. It obviously won't be, but I wonder.
And this is where he asked her about her hand.
Oh, she's got an XO1 studio. She's got an XO1 model. Yay.
Does she?
Yeah. That's nice. Woo! Go Ortega's set dresser.
I'll have to see if I can see that because I can't see it.
So we could now go to the X-Men Con and say, hey, Melissa, you've got an XO1 in your crew quarters.
She probably has no idea what that means.
Nah. And it does look
she is a Star Trek fan, though, the actress. So.
And it does like a Strange World Connie based on the pylons, but yeah, that's okay. Hey, another NX-01 canonical whatever, you know? Good
Hmm.
stuff. And you said it was a hover bike, which is quite amusing if it is a hover bike.
I would assume so. Something cool.
I like her quarters are just a big, like, cesspool of stuff. It's not actually quite what I envisioned for her quarters, but I kind of like it. Like, especially actually, it makes more sense now, actually, because I never got the sense she was a true, like, out body, but
Yeah.
her first, or her Q episode, whatever, where she retreats, if she turns her home into a bat cave, so she can solitarily have purpose. That
Yeah.
works very well. And I love the hand reference. It's
Yeah.
just there. It's subtle.
She looks at the two fingers that were gone. Yeah.
Because that hand was
Colonel Chris says, "Why does the floor of the bridge always looks like someone spilled Coke on it? Like it's always sticky." Yeah, I know, right?
well. When it was carpet, it looked nice and carpety. When it's shiny, you see all the stains, all the scratches, all the reflection. It just looks more there.
Yep. Unless you think it looks like a hotel with carpet.
So what?
You know what I'm talking about. Don't
What?
play innocent.
What? I'm innocent. That wasn't me.
It's true.
It's my granddad.
Then we get to talk with where he tries to get information out of Uhura about why they're doing this, why they're bringing a weapon.
Now you had a big problem this first time, so I want to let you talk about this scene, this setup, because I now I've re-seen it with that mindset. So talk about this little bit in more
Well, the
detail.
fact that he's recording her without her knowledge, even though, as you said, all the cameras are recording. The first one is an establishing shot of the ready room camera. So, um, but yeah, are you recording this? And I think this is where she kind of realizes that his intentions aren't quite pure like she thought they were. Um, yeah, it's actually good. He says, "I just want to know why, because it feels like the actions of a colonizer who take," which really upsets Uhura. Um, yeah, and she's like, you should go. Don't come back to the bridge." I think it was shitty of him to record her without her knowledge, but I'm glad she caught on. So that's basically all I have to say there.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, this was interesting the second time because he's obviously going to be recording all times. I would assume that anyway, especially in a war fight. It's not, like obviously he's recording. It's the fact that it's behind a bookshelf. If the camera was just passively in the side, she would assume he's recording. She wouldn't. She would still keep talking. It's because he's hiding it, right? Like sometimes it's not the doing; it's the lying about doing. That's the problem. So the fact that he's trying to hide it means he feels like it should be hidden. If it was out, I don't think she'd care because she'd just be talking, right? But it's interesting line of questioning. It's like, yeah, what what makes this different to the Klingon Empire, sensibly, right?
Mhm.
But as she said in the episode, she's just doing what she's told. She doesn't know the answer. She doesn't, and everyone, and as he says, you all disagree with it. What makes you all keep doing things you all disagree with? It's a fair point,
The chain of command.
which is what people said instead of bad things. So in second watch, I actually thought he was more right in this scene
Yeah, but he
because
should have just had it openly hovering,
that's the
recording
difference.
her.
Yep, but then it would have been as dramatic, right? But it is his job to ask these questions, and
Yes,
and he said like it's your job to do the thing. Like you're maybe bringing a war zone
but
killer. That's not okay. What I'm doing, so I actually
but the fact that he tried to get information out of her without her knowing
no
about it,
yeah
and
obviously no
like if it's off the
yeah
record, you'll say something different.
yeah
Sketch, man,
yeah
sketch.
obviously that bit right. Obviously I said that in the first version, but the way he's toning it, I'm
Yeah,
actually fine with because it is literally his one job, and now the situation he thought he was here for is way worse than he thought. And
yeah.
like lower deck people, right? They're not being told of anything, so it's just the way. Yeah, it's that escalation. But it's a good question. Like I said, you don't agree with this, so why are you good? Why are you doing it? Oh, because you're trusting the
Mhm.
higher ups, but you don't even know to trust them. Yeah. Well, I don't think she can tell him to not be on the bridge. I don't think she has that authority, but you know. Anyway.
You might want to read Generation Productions
Oh.
comment, the last comment there. Oh well,
Trekyard. Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
your aunts in the fan movie have an issue with the Excelsior and carpet on the bridge?
your ensign. There's no ensigns in that film. He's a commander. He's only a commander.
Yes.
He only have commander pips, and they're expensive, so he's a commander. Well, a
Yeah.
commander transporter is quite a high rank, but whatever. Yeah, my granddad disagrees with carpet.
You like hardwood floors?
No, metal, shiny. If you can't see a face in it,
Oh, I thought you meant in real life. I was like, what the fuck?
oh no, Colin likes doesn't matter. Yeah, but that was the joke because I did actually put that joke in for Stuart to rage quit
And
potentially.
this is one of the first things I said when I gave him critique on that film. Do you hate the carpet on the Foley? What the hell, man?
I don't. He does. I mean, you have to know it was a joke inside of a joke. Surely.
But here we get the walk and talk about connecting with the creature. Spock thinks he can handle it, and Pike's worried about sending a shuttle against this thing because one attack on the shuttle and they're all done for. Which we know they're not because they all survive and make it to TOS. So there's zero tension here.
Which actually makes a really fair point. Couldn't Pike have just volunteered to lead the mission himself?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just saying. I mean, Spock still could have died, but yeah, that's the sort of thing I would have volunteered for if I was him. Captain, you might get killed. I won't. No, you might. And Spock's like,
Trust
he
me,
knows.
he won't.
Ah. But it's also a huge crutch, right? I'm fine with it. It's just you could play it for certain laughs. Also, there's one moment when he's watching the ship being repaired, and there looks to be Scotty. I was like, oh, Scotty's in this episode. Nope. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would have been great to have Scotty's perspective on this.
Yeah,
Or Pelias, as you said.
100% absent. This is the season 1 crew.
Well, like William J suggested, and as I thought, maybe it was reshuffled. Maybe it's supposed to be like the second episode or something. But it's a little harsh for a second episode, so they shuffled it back in the lineup. Maybe.
Yeah, that's absolutely a potential point. Yeah, because it is quite. I think it probably not pissed people off. It probably would have had some reactions from people if it was right out the gate. Whereas now, kind of like, yeah, so it was 7. We're leading to it.
It might have been episode 3 because episode 2 is Wedding Blues, where he got permission to make a documentary about Starfleet.
Yeah, it would have to be.
And then it could be that the other one where the guy gets disintegrated on the planet, he's still doing documentary stuff with different perspective on Starfleet now. So it's one of those, right?
The problem though is that you would assume that he's ruffled feathers now in the Enterprise, and that he can't have the same chill atmosphere with them. It's not a huge deal, but you would think that. So whatever. But at least I commend them for actually doing a setup in an episode, and almost a whole season later the payoff. That's a good amount of length between sub and payoff. That I felt like, oh nice, we're actually doing it this year, etc.
And yeah, Scottish Nightmare mentioning her hand so soon would have been a good follow-up to the first episode of this season. So yeah, maybe it was meant to be earlier in the season.
See, I prefer this far away because it means that I had sort of forgotten. So it oh yeah, that was dark. I think actually works better if it's this far away.
Yeah, that's probably why we shuffled it if that's the case, right? So
yeah.
But some great shots of the exterior of the Galileo. This is great framing with the Enterprise in the corner.
Oh yeah,
I love this.
And actually Galileo.
Yeah.
Well, their Galileo. So it's got to be
which is
destroyed and whatever. Because look at this interior.
You could park the TOS Galileo in this interior.
I mean, it's bigger than my house, right? I mean, it's giant. It's a lovely set, but it's absolutely huge. And it's so wastefully huge. They've never once used it to its potential. Because how the hell do you fill it full of stuff, right? I do think though, this is when the episode starts to fall down a little bit because the kids don't know how to film this, and they can't show in real time. So for me personally, the editing here is a bit too sporadic of Spock saying some things I'm not quite getting what he's doing fully. We're not getting explanations because we can't, because they don't know. It's not the best, but it makes sense. Does it make sense?
Yes, yes, it does. Yeah. Then Lutani warship comes in, and it's kind of between them and the Galileo. I love the visual of these aliens. Think it looks really cool.
Yeah, they're great. They feel very much like high end, early 2000s, late 90s, like Andromeda villains,
Yeah,
but in a
yeah.
very, very good way. And that's a great use of LED wall. Console foreground, background, great bridge. Yep. That's how you do it. D7 from season 2, which sucked. And he's a good pick. Because remember, in theory, as they say, this is the Science Institute of a people that are now massively outgunned and possibly dying. This man is a bit pathetic, and he's trying to be, right? That I think is the implication.
Well, the implication here is he thinks Starfleet wants the weapon for themselves now, because he says
Yes.
you're tracking the creature to take it back to Starfleet. I
Yes.
question the wisdom of trusting Starfleet.
Yep.
So these aren't the scientists that were trying to stop it because it was morally
Yeah, yeah.
wrong. These are the government
Yeah.
saying we need our weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and they're worried Starfleet's going to scoop it because Starfleet doesn't have better weapons anyway. But whatever.
Try us, bro. But I think he's meant to seem a bit weedy and pathetic,
Yeah, yeah.
is my guess. But good casting. I like it. He's a doctor of a science guy. That's the big villain. Like that's interesting, right?
Yeah. But yeah, they power up their weapons. The Galileo's in the mix, and the thing. Well, Spock's trying to establish a connection, and that's when everything goes wrong, and the Galileo gets hit. Probably not directly, obviously, because they would have been dead, but um,
Ooh, Devereaux says the alien does look devil. See,
a little bit.
I don't agree necessarily, and I said to you in another review, we never see the other aliens because subconsciously, if we see the other aliens and they were red with big horns, which actually makes sense if they're blue with horns, red with horns, we'd instantly side with the blue guys because red is a bad color to us.
Maybe the other ones look angelic, so it's like, ooh, good
But
versus evil.
but then we'd side. So by only showing one side, you're unable to create that bias. Just you know,
Yeah,
every creature has certain things that trigger them in terms of fight or flight. So it's absolutely not a problem. But I like that, and also if they'd been too similar, like the Andorians and Enar, same issue, but like confusing. It's already kind of confusing enough, right? But shall we work out the poll? 40 votes.
sure.
Do you wish the story was narrative or was still a doc? And again, very close.
Ooh, very
55%
close.
do like the doc. So I want a really nice clean version because you could argue both ways. 45%
Mhm.
wish it had been a normal narrative. Yeah, fair.
Again, showing a pretty decisive, almost 50-50 type split.
Doesn't happen that often.
That's interesting. 67 of you here, guys, and 69 likes. Hit the like button. Let's get up to 70. One more like from one of you, or 75 or 80, whatever. If you haven't hit like yet, please hit like. Make sure you're subscribed, do the things, and be part of the conversation. Super chat in if you're able to. We do love the support, and we do read them all. So,
Yeah, we're also on our
yeah.
finals a week and a half of the month, so it's absolutely essential to help us do the month. So if you can, please do.
Well, yes, this is where the question's asked, have you ever seen someone die? And then you get cut to them being hovered. I was going to say wheeled through the corridor, but hovered through the corridor, and who are just standing there covered in blood. It's just not a great visual.
And it's pretty dramatic of Chapel. She's probably an hour of makeup, dumping red stuff in her hair just to do that one thing, but it's pretty effective. And Spock
Yeah.
getting slashed open. But given Ortega's literally grew her hand back, these things feel a bit less major now, and
Yeah.
regrowing all of her internal organs, or at least a huge percentage.
And so the new poll is up. Which season of Strange New Worlds do you think will be the best? Season one, in intro to Strange New Worlds. Season two, some comedy and gorn. Or some comedy and porn. What? Season three,
What?
goodbye porn and plus random. I mean gorn. Fuck.
It's not a Rorschach test. It's a spelling bee.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I can't beat one. You can't beat the other.
I don't want to talk about beating it at all right now. Thanks. Um, but yeah. I love Pike's response. I don't think if you had seen somebody die, I don't think you'd enjoy being questioned about it.
That I think is really, really good
Yeah.
because the question is important in general. Because of course, most people on Earth never. There's no, there's no murders really. All that stuff isn't the norm. But yeah, it's not something I want to linger on. It sucks. Of course, it sucks. But it would have been good, as you say. How did you feel when you saw death 4 weeks ago? But of course, it's up for him to ask the questions, not give the answers, right? You often ask questions you know the answers to get the answer, right? Not necessarily to. That would have been nice to have a there.
Let me get them analyzing what the creature's doing. It's doing laps, apparently. Um, and Uhura's like, I can communicate with it. It made a connection with me. It's like, what? When did this happen? This was totally out of the blue, but whatever. It could be a cut scene that they didn't put
Well,
in,
I
maybe.
think she's heavily exaggerating.
Maybe,
She
yeah.
wants approval to try it. If she's not confident, he won't say yes. I think she's just
True.
bullshitting.
But you said Starfleet always tells the truth.
Oh no, she thinks she can do it.
Oh, okay.
She's just very, very, very certain. Why is it circling?
I don't know. It's just agitated, I think. And it's in pain. It doesn't like feeling violent all the time. I don't know.
This is when the plot speeds up to a point of we have to skip potential plot points to get to the next plot point, and it does. I think it does suffer a little bit, but because it's so quick, right? It's rapid and it's interesting, and yeah. I mean, ballsy of her. I think a very her thing to do. You know.
And Pike's like, I won't risk another crew member. She's like, you don't have to. I volunteer. Well, you're still risking a goddamn crew member because if you die, I think that was, yeah, this scene wasn't the best for me, but oh well.
Yeah, it's a very misunderstanding for them to be like, yes, the issue is that he has to order you. No, the issue is you doing it. Volunteering makes no difference. Like practically,
Mhm.
if it was her idea, it's therefore she's volunteering. Formally volunteering makes no difference, but it's her trying everything, right? It's just structurally, it's like, well, Pike's smarter than that. Like if he says no, her
Yeah.
volunteering won't do anything to make her, whatever. And then it really like zips to the next plot point. Or now she's in the chair. It's like, so does she have ESP? No. Why? What is the? I was surprised we jumped this far ahead, because there's no connective tissue here to me, but didn't need it because it was skipping. It's a documentary, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And she's risking permanent brain damage. And we get Beto come in, and then we get a cut to the interview where she's like, this is the last photo I took with my family. It means a lot to me. I know, right?
Why Jeff Orphan of her?
Because everybody has to have a tragic backstory these days. Nobody can join Starfleet just because they want to join Starfleet and explore. It needs to be their therapist.
I hope Sulu and Chekhov are just there because they want to have like chill out and do cool things. And she's great in this role. This is her actress. She
Yeah,
sells this beautifully. I just wish it didn't have to go this far. I could buy one family member dying, but horrible retcon. As well as she
yeah.
plays it and she owns it.
Hans Pritchard said she's dumb enough for the plan to work. Spock was too sensitive and became overwhelmed. Yeah, they do say that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. No, true. Yeah, but she's also
and then
one that would put herself out. It makes sense. It's just they jumped way too far for me. But that's why being 40 minutes is odd because they had time and
yeah,
yet, right?
I don't like this next thing because it's like if she's sick of being a weapon. If we attack her, she'll follow us to the sun. Why doesn't she just go to the sun directly then? I
Yeah.
probably links back to the shot collar that the Lutani had put in her. but I thought this was kind of stupid. Like, it knows what it wants to do, just do it. Why does the Enterprise have to attack it for that to be the case?
Yeah, again, A to B to C plot, we jump to F,
Yes, absolutely.
and then we're just rolling through. Yeah, I felt the same way. I can understand that. Okay, okay. It's obviously cognizant and sentient, but it's obviously been so broken by its new programming that it can't be saved. Okay, fine, but it's still smart enough to tell her it wants to die, and yet also attacking the other ship right now. Eh. And
Unless,
it's smart enough to keep going at the sun to physically burn yourself to death, which is a lot of willpower. I guess you're being tamed by gravity, but whatever. But not enough willpower to not chase a baddie who you think's a baddie. It didn't like playing both sides. Doesn't make sense. I'm fine with it being my. If they said explicitly, it's been like trained to have a fight or flight reflex, and if you attack it with a certain level of power, it'll fight no matter what. Cool. But
yes.
I don't believe it would chase them knowing it's going to die, but not want to die. But I didn't buy it the way it was presented. It's
Maybe
just
that's the
a
only way it can override its programming is if it gets attacked, it has to follow the thing that
yeah.
attacked it and destroy it.
I would say that then.
But I would too. Yeah, absolutely. Like, this part just didn't work for me.
Or again another bit of Pike saying or Spock saying all it needs to do is chase us for 12.7 120 seconds. Then the gravity will force it to not be able to
Yeah.
escape. In which case, I would prefer. This sounds a bit more harsh. As it's flying in to turn and clearly try to escape, and as it's about to die, Spock hears a thank you. So like so it's still in
Mm.
kill mode, trying to
Yeah,
escape, and
yeah.
it's like this brutal scream of "Oh,
Yeah.
don't kill me." But its final thought, as that all settles down, is "Thank you," not just the way it's played. It's very
I would have preferred that as well. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We get Pike talking about a horse he had to put down because it got injured. And I'm like, what about future veterinary medicine? They should be able to help the horse, no problem. But
What about
it's
Geordie's
probably
eyes?
it's probably out on the range and not been able to have medical aid come soon enough.
There are
But
some
whatever.
things that can't be cured,
Yes.
even with horses. But that's fair though. I mean, it's you got to put both sides. This thing is too ill to help, and it's only going to hurt itself. So doing it at mercy, which is why the killing thing is important because they are now killing it,
Hmm.
and they're watching it get killed, which we'll get into in a minute. I have another thought about that. So it does all come together, but you got to like, there's layers, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so they decide to shoot at it, but not anything that will be powerful enough for it to turn it on them, just
But
to annoy it. And it releases the Lutani ship and then starts following them.
although not to hurt the ship, doesn't they don't
Yeah, yeah. And then yeah, it's worried about its children.
yeah.
She's been altered, but the children haven't, and she's worried about it. And Pike's like, "We'll tell her that none of her children will be hurt. That's a promise."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that again, it is able to consciously say all that while still also doing the primitive stuff. Bit weird. I did like that you can see Pike actively choosing to go against Starfleet orders. His orders are to support this race, and the ends justify the means, and the lives of many save the few, whatever. So him saying "I will help the kids" basically commits them to the alternate course. To they're dooming this planet's decision making. They're taking their agency out. All these actions he's now caused. Because when he promises this, he means it. So he might have just doomed a planet. People might have just killed billions, but he doesn't want innocent suffering of innocent life, like properly
Mm.
innocent. But perhaps you see him like not gonna say it, and then he chooses. It's very, very in the performance because he has no sovereign right to say that, to promise that, none at all. Does it anyway.
Then we get some of Uhura's quarters. Yeah, just talking about her friend dying, doing what she would believed in.
Uh-huh.
And then her and Beto talking. This is really good
She calls him
because it's
out.
like, yeah, I do think these are brave questions to ask. No one should accept anything blindly. He's like, and that's what I was trying to do all along. I was just, she's like, no, you weren't. He said he was trying to make a counterpoint, and she's like, no, you came here with an agenda. You were angry. You got a point to prove. Starfleet took your sister away from you, and then she almost died. So you blame Starfleet. Great.
Fair.
So it shows his bias towards this documentary and what point he was trying to prove.
But also, Uhura is also heavily biased, so she would say that,
It's true.
right? Yeah, you thought you knew that. And he's like, no, I did know that because I knew what I was doing, right? And in any other scenario, if this was reversed, you'd be like, as in if he was the lead character on a Trek show, you'd be like, no, you're just saying you're mischaracterizing me. In this scene, it really works because the acting is just very, very good. Because I
Yeah.
don't think he knew any of that coming in. The way his face to me says,
Yeah.
I didn't think I was angry. I didn't think I
Yeah.
was agendivizing. I was doing it entirely for the right reasons. But now you're putting a lens up to me. So I don't. I think it's
Yes.
entirely without realizing.
Yeah. It was subconsciously trying to prove
Yeah,
a point. Uh,
which is all
yeah.
docs, right? Like if you're not trying to actively
Sure.
be propagandizing, you're subconsciously putting something in.
Well, the last thing Uhura says to him is, "But Starfleet isn't keeping you from mending things. So you can fix things with your sister. Don't blame Starfleet for." Yeah.
Which I thought was odd because they've got no bad blood currently. We've only seen them been friends in every episode so far, and not once have
Yeah.
they had.
Just typical brother and sister like picking at each other stuff.
So I don't. I just that feels like there was meant to be something between episode wise where he like
Yeah.
did a bad choice because that is absolutely not in the story. Men's stuff. No, you're fine. There's nothing in that, and she would know because he fancies her kind of. Yeah, that was entirely unjustified as a line. I guess that was from a previous edit or something. But his acting's great, which of course, if you take this literally, he chose to keep in a shot of him sort of crying in the dock. So he chose to make himself a perspective character to have more power to the audience, showing his
Mm-hmm.
realization. Because that's a choice, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. It's like I've edited loads of times in my docs where I keep an expression that goes past what's said because one of the actors chooses to keep the moment going. It's like, oh, that's a good. And so the documentarians are
Yeah.
choosing to keep the afterthought to keep it more powerful.
The brother gets more character development than Ortega's.
Oh,
Oh.
I mean, she gets a cool set.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh, what is happening here? My computer is deciding to not play ball. But yeah,
Excellent.
they say on the bridge that the thing is following them to the sun. It's just out of range. That's why it's not attacking.
Yeah,
So they do make a point of saying that's why it's not attacking the ship, which is great.
with a real melancholy in the vibe.
Yeah.
And then they get phoned by this alien man who sounds pretty pathetic, but he is now pleading, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are you leading that thing? I'm honoring her final wish. No, we've spent years on this project. You can't just. Then it's the whole Starfleet thing. This is an intelligent, emotional creature. She has a right to her free will. You took that from her. We're shutting down your metamorphosis program, and I've been authorized to quarantine Tychus B. Yeah. And then it goes on to plead a bit more and says countless Utani will die without this weapon. And he goes, we're still here. The Federation will help you in other ways, just not like this. So they learned from this situation, I guess. Anyway, and
Yeah,
if
although
if we refuse to let you do this, what are you going to do? We have other warships in the area. We can bring them in. He's like, you don't want to make an enemy out of us. Trust us. It's a very threatening kind of vibe, but yeah,
yeah, and I'll express why I did the other review. I still kind of feel it. This scene is odd because, as I said in the other one, it felt like a mob boss scenario
a little bit,
because
yeah.
because if you look at compare it to countries, if it's America who's been asked to go to, let's say Cyprus, right? And Cyprus says, "No, I've got this little island off Cyprus, and there's a thing here." America's like, "Nope, you can never go there again." It's like, "But you don't own this." "Nope, but it's ours." "Nope, but you don't even live here." "Nope." And if you don't, we'll attack you. It's like, but what? I mean, that's totally a mob boss. If you will come at me, I send all my forces to attack you. But it's literally in our solar system. I break you. So they've just annexed this planet by calling it a safe zone. Annexed it.
Well, if it's
Annexed.
in Federation space,
No, it's
what's
not. It can't be because they're sovereign people. It's their solar system.
their system, but it's still within Federation territory.
Doesn't mean it's their space.
Yeah, that's where the line gets
Otherwise, they
shady.
own the planets as well.
Well, they own everything in Federation space. They protect it. It's
But
their
they're not member
job.
worlds.
Yeah, that's where the line gets shady. Like I said, it's
Because also, but if it is in Federation space, actually, then also the conflict of these two races will be directly their responsibility because they're in Federation space. So I assume it's out of Federation space because they keep being out of Federation space, right? But it's very like properly aggressive, and it's like whatever happens, you're being overridden. Although it is ballsy to say we've got another warship in the area. It's like,
we said other warships,
sure,
plural.
where's their
So
bloody solar system? But it's like, yeah,
you should probably be sending those against the guys that are attacking you
well,
then, because you're getting your asses kicked, guys.
but also you got laser guns. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. You know, but I was just shocked by the tone because that's very unlike Pike. I like just the Starfleet captains. It's very Cisco. Sorry, Cisco.
Yeah, Cisco would absolutely say that. I can see Picard saying it too at some point, depending on the
If he's
situation.
pushed real hard,
Yes,
like
exactly.
properly pushed.
You may test that assumption at your earliest convenience.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just oddly colonial sovereignty, you know. Yeah. And then it flies into the sun, everyone lingers. We finally get the big bar set that was in like 2 episodes. I guess it's too hard to do because it's an LED wall set, so nice to see for a short moment. Those obnoxiously big windows. We get a shot from the outside of the hull with the cells, and they absolutely felt they weren't good enough. So what do? They made them metally and greebly with loads of details. Cause that's the first like
Yeah, that looks like shit.
yeah, that's awful. Like there's
Yeah,
not those little
that's like
tiny
that's the little thing up here.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like why are there hundreds of little plate greeblies?
It looks damaged. Well, to be fair, it just got hit by the radiation thing, but still. Yeah, I didn't like that either. It
Like that looks
doesn't work.
awful for Star Trek.
Yeah.
Um
Battlestar Galactica all the way.
yeah, like you wouldn't yeah, yeah. Yeah. Uh, and then yeah, it goes in. And I wonder if it's intentional because it's a little bit timed differently. But they specifically spoke again about death. When the thing starts lighting up, Pike stays looking at the death because he knows it. He accepts it. That's his respect he's showing. But the young people look away, including the documentary guy, because he can't handle it. Now it could just be because the sun's too bright. Although they were looking at a sun, the death of the creature's not bright in the sun. That's ridiculous. Actually, that's actually ridiculous. So I don't know if you took that in, like if it was Pike was looking, or Tegan was looking, but the two kids won't because they're not strong enough because it hurts too much.
Yeah. Just experience and
Yeah,
goes back to Pike's story about his horse that he had to put down.
they're not adults yet because they
Yeah.
really aren't. I mean, they really are.
Captain Member says, has the Enterprise not been just damaged this season? Yeah, but every episode it's fresh again. So
Yeah, and also they're in theory spending weeks at warp, so you just fix things in between. No captain would keep their ship that damaged if they can fix it.
yeah, even Janeway didn't. Come on now.
Oh yeah, she was very, very, very pristine. Although I also want to know, people bitched at me in Temporal Anomaly for makeup. Sorry, look at her as bright fucking makeup on her eyes.
And it's really nice too. It changes
Oh,
color with
she looks
yeah, it looks
amazing.
fantastic.
But I know it's TOS, fine, or previous, but like she's an incredible amount of makeup and clear lips are big, eyes.
Hmm.
I mean, she's absolutely made up to all whatever. But I love the reflections. It's such a nice like yeah. Oh, and then I didn't catch the first time because it's like 5 frames. And then it cuts to Benga just saying I don't like death and cuts away.
So much loss. That's what he says.
But that's like what a weird thing to throw in. Like imagine
Yeah.
writing that. It cuts to Benga for
I've,
one line and gone.
the more we talk about this and look at it, the more I think that there was a lot of stuff cut out of it.
But also that might be the feeling they're trying to create, right? Because also
Maybe he had a bunch more edits that he wanted to put in to show the Starfleet was bad and then Benga was bad.
dude,
Yeah,
yeah. Because there's
yeah,
a scene. I'll skip to it for a second. A Bolian's birthday.
yes. What?
Like three
Yeah,
people got full Bolian makeup for under 4 seconds of screen time. That's so much
yeah,
work for that, and it looks amazing. But that's the sort of thing you do if it's a doc. You just have other stuff that isn't important, but it's there.
yeah.
So I actually really buy that's just they did some extra stuff, and a few of it didn't make it in, but most of it did.
Sussy Guru 2000, €5. Speaking of Voyager, have you seen the announcement of that new Voyager game?
Yes.
We're talking about that on Monday. We haven't done a live about that on Monday.
Hopefully you guys care.
Because nobody showed up for the infection one. And if they did, nobody
No one cared enough.
engaged. No one
Yes.
engaged, yeah.
And there's less to talk about in the Voyager one, but it's far more exciting because Voyager. Actually, Voyager. Crazy.
And the read up on it's pretty interesting. So
Yes. Yes.
but yeah, we get Ortega saying that her mom was sick. She didn't feel in control. Now that she's in Starfleet, she feels like she's in control here. Every day she gets to prove what she's made of, and that she's the best. Nothing can touch me until it did, and now there are days when I'm as scared as I was then. So that's her PTSD.
But it would be obnoxious to keep seeing a Gorn behind her going. Yeah.
Yes.
So while it's ultra minimal, this is very well written. She delivers it superbly, and she is a stronger person to get over it, like to work through it.
Yeah. Starfleet gives her hope. The people give her hope, she says. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new family.
And it's funny, the first time I entirely forgot they were siblings because he's so little in it.
Yeah.
But then he cuts to like, two Latin Americans. Like, oh yeah, they're related. This is them. This is them together. So that was quite sweet. And you get Mbenga and Una doesn't quite pull off the same black action energy, which is ironic because she's Mystique. So if she's in blue, she should have kicked ass.
Yeah.
Okay. This feels to me like entirely superfluous. Like, why was this set up? Them fighting? That was throwaway. But that's okay.
Yeah. Who are painting on her floor? Well, glass on the floor, but
That I thought was nice. That I thought was very in keeping with a comfy sofa, and that I thought was nice.
yeah. And she said, "I'd lost my family, I'd lost myself, but Starfleet sent me in the right direction just on time, at the right time." So
Yeah,
without Starfleet, I'd either be dead. This is on or undisciplined, consumed by my own anger.
very blunt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tiny thing really early on. Sorry, I forgot because there was a screen cap that I saw. Spock hands her a coffee,
Yeah. In the briefing.
and it's the only person he gives a coffee to, and it's like, oh, you're still dating.
Yeah.
It's so small, but like wonderfully. Because who the hell gives people coffees in Star Trek?
I noticed that the first watch through. I was like, yeah, that's great.
I was really nice. Anyway, love the Bolian birthday. Like, love that. It's great. Bolian family. And Andorian back there. Cool, I just noticed. Nice. More cool dresses.
And then Spock saying that Starfleet allowed him to explore his human half. If he had attempted this on Vulcan, he would have been shunned or banished.
Yes, he has to explore his human half and other people's human halves.
The lower halves.
But again, really like ballsy of Spock to let this kid film his private quarters as the chief of security and just walks in looking quite nice and then gets right next to him. Does he have
Does he
have a sex tape now?
They're going to meditate. It's a meditation tape.
Did Spock say leave or did he like run and say, well, like it's a very intimate thing to let them do, but it's like, but it's nice though. I like the simplicity of them as a couple, actually.
We find out that Pike plays an instrument.
Yeah, what a weird random. That's just Anson. He just walked on a set, right, with his guitar. You know, that's the
Well, I
vibe
mean,
it gives me.
they usually incorporate things that the actors do, like singing or playing piano or whatever,
Yeah.
into their characters. Pike doesn't, or Anson doesn't cook,
No.
which I assumed he did because he's always making fucking food. But maybe this is the one thing that he actually does do in real life. Although probably not. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I did sort of look, and it felt like he wasn't actually playing,
Yeah.
but that's fine. But yeah, tonally odd shift at the end, but obviously it is meant to be. But yeah, they're a family. I'm allowed in the inner sanctum, which is odd because in the narrative before the doc portion, he pissed off some people by asking questions that would have got to Pike. So Pike, despite all that stuff, is still inviting him to dinner because he has not earned his place. That only works if you know the full doc where he at the end says everything's good, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pike is being the better man here and letting him film the inner sanctum. I just want to note that, right? It's not.
And Patel is there.
Yeah,
I forgot she existed for a second.
I guess she didn't join Starfleet again in the sense of like I guess she's because we're 7 in and she's not a captaincy yet, so I guess she's just ill here.
Yeah.
Did they
And we
really?
got
Did they really hire her for 4 seconds of non-dialogue? Did they really give her like 5K, 10K, 100K? You know what I mean? It's such a weird.
this is yeah, it's fine.
It's like
And we see the TOS food cubes.
woo!
Yeah.
Genuine thrilling when I saw that, and isn't that sad? Genuinely
Yeah.
thrilling. The next evolution of food.
So what makes a federation different from an empire and a starship from a warship is the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Did think it was a bit odd that they're super doing super meat. Because they do say in other treks, like, oh, we don't eat meat anymore. And here he is literally cooking a roast something
If
or other.
they yeah, if they have to have replicated food for Thanksgiving, I want it to be shaped like turkeys. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, if the ship gets downsized, you can't have like cooking. I don't know. It's fine. I have no
Oh,
problem with
yeah,
that.
no, I don't really. It's just odd they went full on, like, no, clearly aren't vegans, because. But it would have been kind of funny if there's an offhand line, would have made sense here, but like, synthesized turkey.
Mhm.
Weird thing to add, but yeah, there he is. And then ends on that bloody phaser again. That I 100% recognize. It's right there. I know it. Why has she got a gun in her quarters?
Yeah, I wondered that too. Looks
Because
like an older styled gun or
because
something.
it's
So I don't know
right
if
there,
it's
right? It is super prominent.
seems like an Unohura thing to have.
Yeah.
Lawn, I'd buy it.
Oh,
You
she's
know?
every gun, just walls of guns.
Yeah.
And then what's the last thing she says?
Uh, it's yeah. What is Starfleet? It's the people. It's all of us. We make Starfleet what it
Yep.
is, not the other way around.
Yep. And as I've said before, really well cast. This her actress did a wonderful job channeling the nature of the story. She sells it really well.
Mhm.
And we end on the star. Lovely shot of the star. Didn't get credits. I would love to have seen some fake credits. Or some fake
I was
bloopers or
expecting that. Yeah.
yeah, something else. But it's fine. We got the full doc. And so ends the first Trek doc. I got there first in terms of them. And of course other docs got there first before me. So it's you finally caught up, guys. Well done. Well done. Alright. Episode 7, Stuart. We are nearing the end. As ridiculous as that is.
Got 3 more episodes to go. But now it's
Oh,
the time of the day and the show where you guys get to super chat in with your scores out of 10 for this. Very divided as to what people think about this episode. So hopefully our conversation helped some people maybe move up or down, whatever. If not, that's cool. Just put super chat in your scores. I will read those. We will give our little summations and then we will give our scores as well. And if you want to throw your score in the regular chat, you can do that also. But super chats would be awesome. Another $15 would be awesome if we could. Send a couple fives.
yeah. A couple of fives would be tremendous. And do also, as Stuart alluded to, let us know actually in the chat if this conversation has changed your mind at all. Made you appreciate it any more. than when you went in, or hate it more, but like moved you on the scale, right?
Yeah.
So, Stuart, what do you think of this episode, and how do you feel having just reviewed it for 2-ish hours with a slight PC crash at the start?
I appreciate it a lot more actually because we kind of dug out some context as to why the Federation may be helping these people, um, which we needed more explanation, is what's going on. I understand why people think it did Starfleet wrong or did Star Trek wrong because why would Starfleet help transport a weapon? But there's a lot of layers to that and a lot of political bullshit behind the scenes that we're not privy to. So I think it's fine at the way it turned out. And the final message, I think, is really important, as are most Star Trek final messages. So, yeah, and I really enjoyed the style and the format. The more kind of seeing people do their own thing, dressed in their civilian clothes, was a fantastic thing to add to this. Uh, yeah, I got a lot better understanding for what was going on as far as behind the scenes of that we don't hear about this situation, which I appreciated because talking about it really brought that stuff more in focus for me. So I really appreciate that. So it's actually a better episode now for me. Um, but I do understand why people would say that it's very un Star Trek. So I kind of get that because I didn't understand that last night when I was doing my first reaction, and people were like, "Yeah, it's, did Star Trek dirty?" It's like, well, did it though? I don't think it did.
I mean, I would argue, the first episode of Discovery did Trek way more dirty than this, right? I mean, there's so many
Hmm.
worse episodes in modern Trek that do so much worse than this. They don't even
Yeah,
respect Star Trek, let alone try to do something different and interesting.
yeah.
Just saying.
So, I mean, score wise for me, for personal enjoyment, it's gonna have to probably be a 9.5. I love this. This is definitely my top 10, maybe top five of Stranger Worlds
It'd have to be
episodes.
that score. There are not that many 9.5s in Stranger
I
Worlds.
know,
Yeah.
I know.
What would
For
it
all
what
strange,
would it have been, do you think, pre this chat? If you can think
probably
back.
about the same, maybe 9.6. It would have been up there. It would have been
Oh,
maybe
you said you liked
nine.
it more now. I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say it would have been lower.
No, no, I'm not gonna. It didn't affect my
Okay.
score.
Okay, fair.
I can like it and appreciate it more because of the context and not up my score.
Fair dues.
Plus, I also think I've skewed my scoring quite a bit, so I have to. Anyway, 9.5 is fine. Um, for all of Strange New Worlds, I'm going to give it a nine, a solid nine. Um, yeah, there are more Star Trekky episodes for sure, but I think the documentary style was an interesting choice, and I really wish more Star Treks would have done something like this. So I appreciate that.
And you could, to a certain extent, with the AD wall tech, do docks in TNG. If you build like the front of a bridge, or the middle bit, sorry, and the rest is walls, you could do these sorts of quick pans and then some green screen. I would love to see more docks, even 20-minute docks in universe. Maybe by Memory Alpha, maybe some that involve Lanthanites who have great perspective. Um, you know, they could be short, the Trek kind.
Yeah, funny.
Trek out Trek
Um,
Source. Stuart M1. Woo!
so Sam,
Super
same
chats
question
first.
to you.
Yeah. How are the reactions? See what people think first.
All right, fine. Classic for real, $2. Anton Chekhov's gun, Pavel Chekhov's gun, Uhura's gun. It's Chekhov's gun. It'll be used in another episode. She'll have to defend herself in her quarters, and she has a gun. That's fine. Sussy Guru 2000 throws in uh, €5. Sorry, still a 3.5 from them. That's fair. James C puts in £5. 7 out of 10. We had some good discussions, decent character development, interesting story premise. Cool. And Colonel Chris throws in $5. A 9 out of 10. Could have worked as a classic TNG episode with a few stylistic changes. Could have worked as any Star Trek series, let's be honest. But yes.
Except TOS.
No, I think it would have worked in still to us.
I think it's too different. Yeah, I think the characters are ill defined enough, or too ill defined, and yeah.
The ironic thing is it would have only really worked in season 3 of TOS, which this
Well,
is also season 3. So I think yeah, having known the crew and the mission of Starfleet, I think it'd totally work in TOS.
It could have worked for me if in the TOS movies, if there was a doc as a that I think would have worked fine. But we're on the show. All right, now you can ask questions, Stuart.
But I don't want to now. What do you think of this episode now that we've talked about it and broken it down? Is it better for you? Is it worse? Has your score changed? But yeah, let us know. Sam is on record right now.
Oh my god.
I'm recording.
Oh no, shit. You didn't tell me that.
It's official. Go.
Okay. Yeah. I hadn't seen anyone else's. Like, I absolutely had media blackout since talking to you, and we both liked it. And a few people didn't like it, but I thought that was a minority. Very intrigued to know so many people dislike it. I really can't see why, and I think we've debated it pretty heavily today. That highlights a ton of good things, interesting choices, well-made things. There's very few negatives in this episode, right? I'll use the cake analogy as I always do. This is a very tasty cake that doesn't stay too long. It leaves you wanting more, and I always talk about the cherry on top. For me, the cherry on top isn't a cherry on top. It's a thin layer of cherry over the entire cake, because the editing and cinematography is so good that raises it above lots of other docs. Because the Stargate doc is shot normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine, right? It has nothing on this in terms of style. B5 doc, again, same thing. It's just a sort of doc style. This is super style. It's interesting and well done, right? So this actually is a successful doc in that regard. For me, I like that style. So that for me, there's no one cherry. It's the overall vibe. It elevated it. It wasn't just talking heads. It wasn't just a doc. It wasn't like my doc. It's much simpler. Good story, simple, a lot of ambiguity. Hard to follow that it had to be, even though it's super simple. Because it could have done more extraneous details, which would have had at the time, but like the aliens, who they were, what they were, maybe how we knew them, some other formal details would have helped. But then it would have taken out the ambiguity of the whole story, which I don't know if they meant for it to be this ambiguous, but the fact that we can pull so much from it, either you have faith in Starfleet to assume Pike had good intentions, or you don't and assume there's a bad one in charge, whatever, it plays into that. So good payoff from the previous stories with the brother, who is not very obnoxious. Like, in general, this is specific to try and get information, but he's actually done rather well, I think. Uhura's the lead of this one, carries it really well. Una's there. Pike does a great job. And Benga's great acting. Chapel's there. Scotty's not there. Pelly should have been there. I could have seen some interesting extras with her, but also she could have been too acty for it. Playing up to the camera. I can see why they've edited it out. Whatever. Yeah, but it invites more questions, and this is sort of one that most of these episodes are on the surface. You get them. This one is the one that you'd want to talk to the writer and say, what did you intend? Right? What were you thinking? Because it feels like there's depth, which I appreciate. So yeah, good. Do I like it more? Yes, but also I see more of its flaws. But they're minor flaws. They're like really small things that also could be intentional, right? So it's a hard one to judge. So yeah, I mean, certainly you'll not forget this one, right? Like, I was saying to someone the other day, what was last week's? Couldn't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't remember when somebody brought it up earlier.
That
Fantasic brought it up.
kind of shows how unmemorable the season's being. You've got the Gorn badness, Trelane because he's Trelane, and then other ones you have to remember.
Kirk's first command. Yeah.
Should be memorable, but it was so classic it didn't. Like, that's odd, but whatever. This will be memorable because it's so different, right? Score wise, obviously it's in the nines. Obviously, right? I mean, yeah. Enjoyment. For me, this could have every right to be best of the season for style and substance and success, but it could add more trekkiness, things that I like. So I'm going to say I'm slightly cheating, but I'm allowed to because I have the score chart.
I know. Cheater.
I'm going to place it below my favourite just because that has more trekkiness. So I'm making a slight deliberacy, but I'm going to say 9.3. So it's right there in the middle of those two. All Stranger Worlds, 991. I mean, this beats loads of season 1 and 2. Like, loads. So, yeah, both hands down 9s. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Colonial Chris says, hot take. Beto is a better journalist than Jake. Jake played nice with Wayoon. Beto would have gotten himself arrested.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have nothing to say except yeah. All right, final super chats in, guys. We'd love $7 more. Just saying as I read out the last thing, so jump in there if you can. Final super chat scores are as follows. Anton 6 out of 10. Phoenix 7 out of 10. Scottish Nightmare C out of 10. C minus out of 10. Ryan 6 out of 10. Han 8 out of 10. Captain Corky 8 out of 10. Joseph 8 out of 10. Hypno 6 out of 10. Character development and Space Mothra, yeah, fair. Is Chef's Kiss, but I hated the documentary format. I'd like to focus only on the story. Aussie 8.51 was 8.6, so low for you, but yeah, that's okay. Michael Psychois solid 7. Hypno, this discussion was good, but y'all are adding a lot more context where the story should have done that. Disagree.
I also disagree.
Because that's the point of this sort of media.
He doesn't know all the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's sort of the point.
It looks very black and white from his point of view. Like, this is bad. But there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, especially.
Hypno or the documentary guy?
Documentary guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't know that it's black and white to him. This is bad. You don't do this.
Yeah, don't help.
And that's what a lot of the people that don't like this episode think as well. But when you think about all the context of what's going on that was redacted from Starfleet, what the admirals know, why they agreed to do this, there's a lot more there. And Starfleet typically doesn't do this kind of thing. So there's obviously something important.
It's like I defend Star Insurrection, right? That admiral is looking at the death reports. They're losing 1 million people a week. They know that in 6 weeks they'll be out of crew. If they don't start saving people, they're going to die of the Dominion and cause the destruction of the entire quadrant. Oh no, he's ruining 120 people's lives. Yeah, well, because of that, they ruin trillions.
Yeah. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah. Trillions, couple of hundred, etc. Yeah, so there we go. Merlot 6.2, maybe, generously 6.3. Goodness! Generous. Stanley's 5. While he didn't change my opinion, you did clarify a few things. Good stuff. Appreciate you.
What we try to do.
Yep. That's what 2 hours of discussion does. Like, every scene broken down.
Scottish Nightmare says the doc thing didn't bother me, just found it boring.
I don't know why it could be boring. It's so dynamic and not boring. I don't know. I can't.
Probably not a documentary guy.
Well, no, I feel like he said he likes docs.
And Ryan Lindner gives it a 3.
Damn. Yeah, and so he made it. He was mad at Starfleet because he lost his sister. His sister left. That's not her was asserting it, not him. And she could be wrong, and I think she is wrong.
Well, her sister left, and also she almost died.
Like
from
this
the Gorn
close,
thing.
almost died.
Yeah.
It's left also symbolically means almost died.
Yeah.
That's yeah. It's not literally left because Right, end the poll, which has changed throughout the course of the discussion. So 44 votes in 44 minutes. Nice. Which season do you think is going to be the best? And I've seen 3/4 of this season. The winner, which was the winner for the entire time, but it's gone down a little bit. This season, though, 48% think it'll be the best season. And very equal, 27% for season 2, 25% for season 1. Do you think it's going to be the best season? Because I think I like season 2 quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Season 2 was good.
My guts are season 2, but I don't know why.
We still got 3 more episodes to go, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'd have to go through the list of season 2 episodes to really get a refresher.
You had the crossover and you had the Spock become human, which were both fantastic. So there's not been Trelane was damn good, but not as good as either of those two, I think. So there's not been.
Yeah.
Damn.
Classic for Real throws in $2. Don't forget the needs of the many got canceled in Discovery. Sure. And Merlos asks how old is Starfleet by now? I think it's 100. I think they were celebrating the centennial for Federation Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because 65 was the founding. 67. Yeah.
Yeah, it's around 100 years old.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of you. And
Yeah.
check out our videos on the weekend. We got two, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. We'll find it interesting if you're confused or upset about the size of the Enterprise, because rightfully so.
And a double bill of sorts. So go watch both. Let us know what you think of both. See what you think. See what you think. Yeah.
All right, guys. Oh,
Oh, yeah. That was classic. Yeah. Cool. Just come from me. Cool. Well, thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate you all. You'll see us the weekend, and we'll see you next week. Till then, he's got a vote.
Monday live Voyager game. Do it. Come join. 60 of you here. Do it. Yes, I'm Captain Foley. He's Commander Cockings.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And we'll see you guys later.
Have a good weekend.